Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahweh Shai. So do or die. The Immaculate Conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod, and not the Son of God. To you was kinda odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all
Hebrew
about the
Israelites,
Most High. It's all
Kwam
about
Yashala.
Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High.
Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahweh Shai. So do or die. The Immaculate Conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod, and not the Son of God. To you was kinda odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all
Hebrew
about the
Israelites,
Most High. It's all
Kwam
about
Yashala.
Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High.
Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahweh Shai. So do or die. The Immaculate Conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod, and not the Son of God. To you kinda odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all
Hebrew
about the
Israelites,
Most High. It's all
Kwam
about
Yashala.
Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High.
Shalom.
We got sound?
Con.
Khan. Shalom, y'all. Sorry about that. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Welcome again to another live class with the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We're located at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas, 77071. Our class times are Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10 p.m., Friday from 6 to 9 p.m., and Saturday from 10 to 2. All right, so if you're local, please feel free to join us. If you're local here in Houston, feel free to join us for those times. If you're in the San Antonio area, we have a school at 4219 Centergate Street, San Antonio, Texas, 78217. All right, if you're in that area and you want to get class, please contact us and we'll get you their times and days. Also, if you're in the Albuquerque, New Mexico, can y'all hear me? I feel like I'm low. If y'all are in the Albuquerque, New Mexico area, we got a school at 7710 Medial Boulevard, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87110. All right, again, if you'd like the class times and days, please hit us up and we'll get you that information. Coming soon, we're having our revamped and updated kids class. The time and day is to be announced. Okay, so look out for that. You can watch us here live on YouTube under Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. Make sure you please like, share, subscribe. We also have a ISBHPK San Antonio page, ISBHPK Virginia, and we're working on the Albuquerque. All right, so make sure you like, share, subscribe. We have a 5 Minutes of Wisdom page. You can like, share, subscribe. Our ISBHPK Kids, please like, share, subscribe. Put those thumbs up. We just threw a new video up, one of our cable shows, The Hidden Truth, which is every Saturday at 8 o'clock. You can stream that live on Comcast Local Channel 17. You can watch it live on Comcast Local Channel 17. You can stream it on hmstv.org, or you can wait for us to edit it and then upload it like we did one last night on pornography. Real good show. So, check it out. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the videos, please. That helps out a lot. The more you like, the more you share, the more we come up in the recommendations. Okay, the more the video gets circulated. So we're trying to get this knowledge out. So make sure you like, share, subscribe. We got a few businesses that we have. The sisters with Israelwear, they're taking orders once again. All right, so whatever you need for garments, headbands, armbands, the sisters are taking orders. Israelwear, you go to Facebook, search Israelwear. The brothers have an oil business. All right, if you need the details, the website's looking nice. It's almost complete. You can order online or you can hit us up. And if you're local here in Houston, or if you just want to support and you're not in Houston, hit us up. We can get you the information to that. If you need to reach a teacher, you can reach Priest Kazakia at 281-707-2737. You can reach me at 303-557-8979. You can email us at You can email us at isbhpk@isbhpk.org. Once again, that's isbhpk@isbhpk.org for the email. Any donations that you want to give, remember we're working on the lease agreement for the school out in Virginia. All right? So for those that agree to help out with us, acquiring the building, please get that money in as soon as you can. We know, Friday, payday, things like that. So we ain't stressing nobody. If you agree to help, just get it in when you can, so we can acquire this building, man. All right, we're trying to get things rolling out in Virginia. If you'd like to help out with any other things, as far as Virginia, we need a camera, we need another computer to be able to broadcast. We need to get some podiums made for street speaking. We need to get a podium made for the school. Whatever you want to help out with, please hit us up. If you know anybody that wants to donate their time, hit us up. It's much appreciated. And for all those that have helped, again, we appreciate it. Remember, the scriptures say, whatsoever you do, do it wholeheartedly unto the Most High, not unto men. So we know you're giving it to us for the school, but it's towards the name of the Most High and towards the work. So the Most High said he's not unrighteous to forget your labor and love. So just make sure you're doing it from a pure heart, and whatever comes from it, you know, that's the Most High. Whatever good comes from it, that's the Most High blessing it. So we definitely appreciate it. Yeah, what I'm gonna do, but this is another good topic. I feel like my mic can come up a little bit. Hello? Can you do me a favor? Oh, can you hit the volume just up a little bit? Here. Okay. Yeah, be careful. Get the volume up. It's the very top button. Yeah. Hello? Yeah.
That's better?
Oh yeah, now I'm here. Now I'm up in here. I feel like I wasn't here earlier. We got a good topic. I see y'all are asking questions. Let's see here. Yeah, let's hold the questions. I want to get this topic out, man, because it's a good one, and I want to make sure I get all the scriptures out without having to rush. Okay, so that's going to be it for the announcements. I didn't miss anything, right? No? Yeah, I didn't miss anything. So the title of this class, I'm going to go right into the class, because like I said, I want to be able to get into the class and get the entire class out and not have to rush, skip scriptures. So real good class, real good topic. Today we're going to be dealing with heartbreak. Today we're going to be dealing with everybody looked up. Today we're going to be dealing with heartbreak and how to get over heartbreak. So you can title this, How to Relieve a Broken Heart. How to get over a broken heart. You know, and it's one of those topics, you know, I've had a few people hit me up asking me, how do I get over this? How do I relieve this? Or, you know, and it's not just heartbreak per se in a way of someone left me and broke my heart, or a bad relationship or a relationship breakup, but also it goes along the lines of, how do you get past any hurt that's been done? See, and that's really what it's going to go into, is how do you get past hurt and pain? Now, let's ask ourselves, or ask yourself individually, how much hurt and pain have you been through in life? Well, we've been through a lot of hurt and pain as a nation, right? Right. We've been through a lot of hurt and pain as a nation. We've been through a lot of hurt and pain as individuals, right? So we got to go in and examine it and really look and see, well, you know, what is heartbreak? What does it mean? What is it? What does it have to really do with? So first and foremost, we're going to look up heartache. I want somebody to look up heartache, the word heartache. Give me the definition of heartache. Even if you do I think if you do a simple Google, it'll come up. What you got? Heartache.
It says emotional anguish or grief.
It says what?
Emotional anguish or grief.
What else?
Typically caused by the loss of absence of someone loved.
Right. So what I have, I'm going to show you what I have. I have heartache. I look in the Webster's 1828 dictionary. I have sorrow and anguish of mind. Right? Sorrow or anguish of mind. Now, someone look up the word sorrow. And if y'all know me, I like to look up these words because these words, they bring more light. When we understand what these words really mean, it helps us to understand the scriptures a lot better. What you got for sorrow?
A feeling of deep distress
Uh-huh.
caused by loss, disappointment, or other misfortune suffered by oneself or others.
Right. Now, let me show you what I got. Again, Webster's Dictionary, 1828. I use this dictionary because it gives you the older definitions of these words. A lot of words have a lot of older and different meanings, and through time, the etymology of words change, or the etymology is what the word meant, and then through time, things change. So remember, anguish, sorrow, comma, heartache, sorrow, or anguish of mind. So this is an anguish in the mind. Okay? Now, sorrow, I have the uneasiness or pain of the mind, which is produced by the loss of any good. Okay? The uneasiness in the mind, which is produced by the loss of anything good, or of frustrated hopes of good or expected loss of happiness. It says to grieve or to be sad. So again, there's many different causes. What's up, Jermaine? That look on your face. There's many different causes of sorrow, right? There's many different reasons why a person might be sorrowful or have heartache or be heartbroken. You know, the relationship status, it could be your job status, it could be the loss of a loved one, the loss of a child, right? There's many different ways to characterize and to categorize heartache or a broken heart or anguish or grief or sorrow, right? So, and the one thing we do have to understand is that, yeah, we've all been in a heartbroken situation. We've all been heartbroken. We've all been in this heartache, in this anguish of mind. Now, I know some of y'all are thinking individually and going back into your past life, like, yeah, that shit broke my heart. Like, yeah, man, she was whack. Or, yeah, I remember when I was with that one guy, we was together and he promised he was going to love me and he was going to, be with me and give me the world, and now he's gone, and you go back and you reflect on those feelings, right?
Gone.
And what is it that you do when you reflect on those feelings of heartbreak? What's the natural instinct?
Sorrow.
Well, that's what is produced, but how does one feel when you go through heartbreak, heartache, sorrow, grief, right? There's a thing it's a natural reaction for a human to do once they feel these feelings. Who knows?
Cry?
No, not always. Not everybody cries because they're heartbroken or grief or sorrow.
They put themselves in like a box of cocoon, like from the world. Like they shield themselves from the world.
They shield. That's perfect. What were you gonna say?
They're angry.
Right. Well, we're gonna go through that, but and I might be jumping a little bit, but yes, the whole action of heartbreak and grief and sorrow, it puts you in the mind that I don't want to be here. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to feel this no more. So what do? You shield yourself. You block yourself. You put up the borders, right? Because you don't want to feel that pain, no matter what it is. You don't want to feel that loss of good. You don't want to feel that anguish, right? So the world tells you what? How does the world tell you how to deal with grief and heartache?
Self-medicate or like eat.
Self-medicate, right? So whatever that may be, whatever your medication is, liquor, if you drugs, get more high, or eat, binge eat, right? Oh, I gained weight. Why were you gaining weight? Oh, I was stressing out, right? Or man, my girl left me, so I just started eating ice cream. Or he left me, so I just started drinking.
Sleep
it off.
Sleep it off, and
You get into that depressed mode, right? What else?
Like Rob said, thug it out.
Or you thug it out, right? But the world tells you to act off your emotions. Get emotional, let it out. Don't be afraid to be angry, right? Let the emotion out. So I'm throwing these different ideas out for y'all to see how does the world teach us how to deal with heartbreak and sorrow? Well, the world tells us to do it the wrong way. Because when you act off emotions, when you go and binge eat and binge drink and binge sex and binge this and binge that, you're causing more damage to oneself, right? Now, jumping back, we know that the heartache, the sorrow, the heartbreak, a lot of individuals have dealt with that, and it stems from what? The way we do things, the wisdom that we apply or don't apply, right? Now, where does, and I think I just gave it away, but where does it stem from? I think I just gave it away.
The world?
Well, yeah, well, what happens in the world? What happens in the world? Now, let's deal with this as a nation. What happened to us as a nation?
We basically go into like a captive mindset. Like shield yourself from like everybody and each other.
Right.
People, you start hating your own people.
Well, let me say it like this. What put the nation in anguish of mind? What put the nation in sorrow?
Leaving off of the law, statutes, commandments, turn away from the Most High.
Right. What you got?
Say we broke the Most High's heart.
Well, right. Oh, I like that. We broke his heart, so in turn, he did what? He broke ours. Right? Go to Hosea 4 and 6. It's this simple. Go to Hosea 4 and 6. See, the nation has been heartbroken and is in a state of anguish and sorrow because of just not applying the principle and basic things. Hosea 4 and 6.
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Now, the lack of knowledge is where, as a nation, our heartbreak comes from. Our sorrow. I'm going to use the word sorrow and heartache. Right? That's where it comes from, that lack of using the Most High's wisdom. Now, granted, not everybody is privy to the wisdom because not everybody was born in the truth. Not everybody's in the truth, right? But it still doesn't negate the fact that this is why we are where we are in the mind. Remember, sorrow, heartbreak, anguish, it's all in the mind. It's all in a state of mind, a state of being. Now, we know that physically, we went through a lot of things that showed our destruction, the slavery, right? The beatings, the killings. We know physically we went through that. But now, as we're coming out of all this physical anguish and torment, our people are still in a mental sorrow. They're still in a mental anguish. So read it again.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Go ahead.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee.
Go ahead, read on.
Because thou shalt be no priest to me.
Read.
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power.
Yeah, see, we've forgotten the law of the Most High. We rejected knowledge. So that automatically put us in this state of mind of sorrow and anguish and, you know, that broken heart. Now, remember what I said earlier about, and look at yourself and say, man, when I went through that breakup, with old girl, when I went through that hard time with old boy, it puts you in the mind that I don't want to be here no more, right? I don't want to go through these feelings. So remember, the Most High said we're destroyed for the lack of knowledge. He said because we forgot his law. Go ahead, read on.
I will also forget thy children.
I will also do what?
Forget thy children.
Go to Isaiah 42 and verse 22. So the Most High said that we're destroyed because the lack of our application of knowledge, the lack of knowing the knowledge, the lack of using it, right? So that put us automatically into this sorrowful, heartbroken, heartache state of being, state of mind, state of body. Y'all get that? Go to Isaiah 42 and verse 22. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Wait, so what happened when we didn't use the knowledge?
This is a people robbed and spoiled.
Come on.
They are all of them snared in holes.
Read on.
And they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey.
You got to think about that. The Most High said that We are robbed and spoiled. Now, is it saying, oh, they're spoiled because they ate a bunch of candy? Like how grandma would spoil you? Nah. Our way of living, our state of mind, our state of being has been spoiled. All that hope for good that we look for, is it there? Or was it there at a time? No, right? When you're going through slavery and picking cotton, it's hard to look forward to the good. When you're getting captive to every nation, it's hard to see that good. Now, we know the scriptures say to hope for the good, but when you catching that, when you're really in it and you don't have the knowledge, what's happening? The more you catch the hell, the deeper you get into it because there's no real way. You're not applying the real way to get out of it. It's no different than, let's make it back to an individual standpoint. You're going through that little breakup, you're going through that grief. Instead of applying knowledge to get through it, what do? You dig a deeper hole by, like Jermaine said, you self-medicate, right? You binge eat, you binge drink, you become extra promiscuous, right? You overindulge in things that aren't really helping. They're not helping us. All they're doing is soothing you, or it seems like it's soothing you for the time. So it says this people is robbed and spoiled. Well, the spoiling is because we're not using the proper things to help us stay afloat. Go ahead.
And none delivereth for a spoil.
Uh-huh.
And none saith, restore.
And none saith what?
Restore.
Right. See, there's nothing there. There's no one there to help restore us back to that mind state of hoping for the good, like the scriptures say. Remember, Jeremiah says it, man. Go to Jeremiah real quick. I got to throw this in there. Go to Jeremiah. Go to Jeremiah 29 and verse 11. Jeremiah 29 and 11.
Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11.
Uh-huh.
For I know the thoughts that I think toward you.
Go ahead.
Said the Lord.
Come on.
Thought of peace.
Thoughts of what?
Thoughts of peace.
You see, even the Most High has these thoughts of good for us. And it's like Jermaine said, when we went off, we did what? We broke the Most High's heart. So those thoughts of good changed. Right? But now, if those thoughts, if we're not even looking for our own good, and only the Most High is, think about our mind state, man. When we're not even looking for our own good. We're not even looking for a way to get out of the sorrow because we don't know how. It says we were destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So we're going to use all of the different and the wrong things to help get out of this heartbreak. Go ahead, read on.
And not of evil.
Right.
To give you an expected end.
Right, because that expected end was to live in unity and harmony. Right? Brotherhood, sisterhood, live in peace. Jump back to Isaiah. So we got to see it, man. What's that? Somebody did tell the title of the class.
How to get over a broken heart.
Right. So we got to see that the Most High is looking for that peace for us. But imagine the sorrow it put his mind in to see, damn, look at these people destroy themselves. Right? So he said, you know what? I'm going to create a way so that I don't have to feel this sorrow for them and that they don't have to go through the sorrow. But we have to understand that what the sorrow is meant for. Read on.
And,
go back to Isaiah.
Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22.
Right.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Right.
They are all of them snared in holes.
Go ahead.
And they are hid in prison houses.
Right. So this is the condition of our people. Spoiled, snared, in prison. I mean, ain't that what's going on with our people? Men, women, and children. They just had a lady the other day, man, 2 nights ago, right here in Texas, get shot 5 times, pregnant. On her back, unarmed. That's a sorrowful condition, man. And it brings sorrow to one's mind when you got to think like, damn, is that going to be me next? Is that going to be me when I step out the house? It puts this anguish and this state of mind in you to think and to wonder like, wow, is that going to be my children? Because I know I think about it. I see that stuff, man, I'm like, wow. But then it always comes back to what? Well, it's about using the knowledge. Our people go through these things because they don't use the knowledge. Our people go through all the bad things in life because we're destroyed for the lack of knowledge, like the scriptures say. Read on.
Come. They are for a prey.
Come on.
And none delivered.
Uh-huh.
For a spoil, and none said, restore.
Right. Read verse 23.
Who among you will give ear to this?
Uh-huh.
Who will hearken and hear for the time to come?
Read verse 24.
Who gave Jacob for a spoil?
Right. Now who gave Jacob for a spoil? Jacob being the 12 tribes of Israel. Who did this? Go ahead.
And Israel to robbers.
Come on.
Did not the Lord?
Did not who?
Did not the Lord?
Did not the Lord do this? Did not the Lord give Jacob for a spoil and Israel to robbers? Did not the Most High say, you know what? If you obey me, you'll be the highest on the earth. You'll have dominion, but if you disobey, you'll be brought low. Did he not say that if you don't follow my commandments, I'll send a nation against thee? Swifter than the eagle flieth, whose language you don't understand. They'll put you in robbery. They'll put you in slavery. They'll kill your women, men, children. You'll betroth the wife, and no man shall lay with her. Or another man, right? You'll betroth the wife, and another man shall lay with her. Right? Then he said you'll have a pocket with holes in it. You won't have an economy. You'll want to go to your enemies for everything. Did he not say that? Go ahead.
He against whom will we have sinned?
He against what?
Whom we have sinned.
Read.
For they would not walk in his ways.
Come on.
Neither were they obedient unto his law.
Read on.
Therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger.
Yeah, so the Most High had to pour that anger on us. You know where that anger came from? Jermaine said it. I liked it. That anger came from us breaking the Most High's heart, man. Right? We broke the Most High's heart by being disobedient. So he's like, well, listen, I'm going to have to put them in a position because there's something that sorrow and anger does, that sorrow and heartbreak, it's something that it's supposed to do to the mind. Go ahead, read on.
And the strength of battle.
Uh-huh.
And it hath.
Yet he knew not, and it burned him. Yet he laid it not to heart. Think about it. Think about all the sorrow our people go through on a daily basis. And do the majority of them take it to heart? No. But what will they take to heart?
Shoot. They'll take to heart if on the job, their manager is trying to give them a write-up.
Right.
Like, oh man, I'm about to lose my job.
You'll take that to heart. Right.
Or
if your girl's trying to leave you, you'll take that to heart.
Yep.
You'll be heartbroken over that. You'll mentally be in anguish. And our people have been mentally in anguish over the wrong thing. See, we should have took the fact that the Most High gave us over to spoilers and robbers. We should have been heartbroken over that. Why? Because that was what was supposed to correct the wrongs that we did. Think about it. Think about when you break up. I'm going to say it again. Think about when you break up with a person and you go through that whole little breakup thing. What do you start doing? You start reflecting on the relationship. You start reflecting on what we could have did better. Man, if I would have did this, if I would have just took her out more, right? If we'd have just did more dates, man, if I'd have just bought her more flowers. You start reflecting. You start reflecting on all the things you could have did better. But see, the Most High put us in a predicament by letting the robbers and spoilers take the nation to do what? To make us reflect on what we should have been doing better. How we could have been better at serving him. And for us to be in the mind that, you know what? I don't want to be here no more.
right.
We don't want to go through this no more. But think about how many times we went through the slavery. Think about how many times we went through the same breakups and made the same mistakes because we didn't have that real sorrow that the Most High was looking for. Y'all with me?
Go
to Jeremiah 30 and verse 15. So we're seeing why the Most High gave us up and why he let us be spoiled. And why he let us go into this state of heartache or broken heart, well, it was to correct us. But see, we didn't take it to heart like the scriptures say, but we take the other things to heart. We take the small things to heart where we should be taking this captivity to heart. Go ahead, read that. Jeremiah 30 and 15.
Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
Why criest thou for thine affliction?
He said, it says what?
Why criest thou for thine affliction?
Come on, read on.
Thy sorrow is incurable for thy multitude of thine iniquity.
Most High is like, man, what you crying for? What you crying for? This is on you. This is on you. The sorrow is because of the multitude of our affliction. It's no different. Let's bring it back to the microcosm of an individual relationship. You got your wife, you got your husband, right? Husband is doing what? Getting off work, spending all his time at the bar, kicking it with the homeboys, not investing in his family. The wife goes, I need more time. I need you to be home more. The kids need you. He's like, oh yeah, screw that. And then she leaves. Who is that on? It's on that man. He should have at least said, well, let me see what she's talking about. Let me invest a little bit more time. I'm not talking about a righteous husband that's busy off doing the work. I'm just talking about a man that's sitting in the bar, giving his time to everything else but his family. That wife is going to leave. That's on that man. But he got the nerve to do what? Cry. Man, she left me. I don't believe it, Lord. Why'd she leave me? Well, she left because you didn't do the things necessary to keep her around. And it goes both ways. So y'all see that, right? Like, why are you crying? Your iniquities brought this on you. Just like how, as a nation, our iniquities brought this heartbreak, this heartache to us. Go ahead.
Because thy sins were increased.
Go ahead, read on.
I have done these things unto thee.
Right, read.
Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured.
Come on.
And all thine adversaries, one of them shall go into captivity.
Right.
And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil.
Read.
And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey.
Right, because we know that that's going to happen at the end, right? He that leadeth into captivity shall be led into captivity. He that killed with the sword shall be killed with the sword. Right? Read on.
For I will restore health unto thee.
Right.
And I will heal thee of thy wounds.
But not after we get wounded. He ain't going to heal us until what? He takes out that anger. Not until we see and take to heart and really be sorrowful and heartbroken over the right things. See, we gotta look at the heartbreak in a different way and understand this anguish of mind that the Most High put us in for our lack of using wisdom. Go to Lamentations 6:34. Lamentations 3:64. Y'all with me so far? Lamentations 3 and verse 64. Now remember, don't be forgetful. I'm trying to show y'all two things here. I'm trying to show you the big picture of the nation, but also show you the microcosm of why people go through heartbreaks. Because it's the same thing, even in the microcosm of a relationship, it's still a lack of wisdom. It's still a lack of knowledge. And then you go through things to teach you and to show you how to do things better. Right? Read that. Lamentations 3 and verse 64.
Lamentations chapter 3 and verse 64.
Uh-huh.
Render unto them a recompense.
Come on.
O Lord.
Read.
According to the work of their hands.
Right? Read on.
Give them sorrow of heart.
He said give them what?
Give them sorrow of heart.
You see, here's that broken heart. Here's that sorrow of the mind. He said give them anguish. But was it like, relationship anguish? Oh, I'm brokenhearted, he left me. I'm angry because I've been hurt in the past. Well, we should have took this to heart 10 times more than any individual hurt and said, wow, look at the nation. Go ahead.
Cause thy curse unto unto them, persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens of the Lord.
Right, go to 2nd Ezra 2 and verse 1. So we got to see, hopefully y'all are with me, hopefully y'all are understanding that. And I know y'all are saying, but like, how is this curing my heartbreak to know that the Most High is whooping us? Well, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. I just want to really show you how we look at heartbreak, how the world teaches what heartbreak is, and what the Most High was trying to do, because the Most High was trying to put us in that anguish of mind. Why? To wake us up, to show us our wrongs, to get us back on track. Read where you at. 2nd Ezra 2 and verse 1.
2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 1. Thus said the Lord, I brought this people out of bondage.
Right, because the Most High brought us out of Egypt. Go ahead.
And I gave them prophets.
He did what?
Gave them prophets.
Come on.
Whom they would not hear.
Read.
But despised my counsel.
Right, so think about that, man. You deliver a people, you give them prophets, you give them the instruction, and they're like, man, I don't want that. Now, the Most High said he's a jealous God, right?
Go on.
So, the Most High said he gets angry. So, we know the Most High does have emotion. Now, he's not emotional like how we are, like tossed to and fro with emotion. But it is a fair thing to say that the Most High does feel that sorrow where he's like, man, look at my people destroying themselves. Like, wow, why would they do this to themselves? Because that's what it really is. It's no different than a parent and a child, right? Your child gets to a certain age and he's old enough to make his own decisions. And the whole time you coached him through life. You gave him all the wisdom, all the knowledge to be able to assimilate and associate in the world and get through. And what happens? He turns out to be the drug dealer, the killer, the murderer. And he's like, man, why does this dude keep doing this? Or why does she keep doing this? Why does she got 5 baby daddies with, 5 different kids? I didn't teach her this way. So look at it in that parent type of sorrow of mind, like, wow, I didn't teach you this. This is not what I gave you. This is not how I raised you. The Most High is showing it right here. He said, look, I brought y'all out of Egypt. I gave you prophets. I gave you the law. And look how y'all did it. Look how y'all used it. Look at the state of the state that you guys are in because of the works of your hands. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 2. The mother that bare them said unto them, go your way, ye children, for I am a widow and forsaken.
Go ahead.
I brought you up with gladness.
Check this out. He said, I brought you up with gladness. Go ahead.
But with sorrow and heaviness have I lost.
He said, but with what?
Sorrow and heaviness have I lost.
Yeah, he lost us in that sorrow and heaviness. Why? Because my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. He lost us to sorrow, that heartache. He lost us to this broken mind, right? This broken heart. But not in a way of, some individual relationship, but the entire nation. So I lost you to sorrow and heaviness. Go ahead.
For ye have sinned before the Lord your power.
Why did we have sorrow and heaviness?
For ye have sinned before the Lord your power.
Go ahead.
And done that thing that is evil before him.
Right, go to Ecclesiastes 26 and verse 27. So we got to see, man, that the Most High is showing us that through our works, through the works of our hands, we bring on ourselves this sorrow. Remember, sorrow is just, we went over it, sorrow is just anguish of mind. Sorrow, the uneasiness or pain of the mind, which is produced by loss of any good. Now, as a nation, what is it that we lost?
We lost everything.
Yeah, right?
We lost.
But, and we know that, but be specific. Be specific. What did we lose, man? We know we lost everything, but what does that encompass?
It encompasses our integrity,
right?
Our stature, where we're supposed to be in society. Instead of being on the top, we're in the bottom.
Go ahead.
Our care and love for one another.
Right. We lost the unity. We lost, if you want to talk about the language, the nationality, the customs. Yeah, I like that. We lost our integrity. We lost our true way of being. We lost the hope. We lost the good that was promised. Right? And slowly we're coming back to that. We even lost faith. We lost faith. We lost brotherhood, sisterhood, community, civilization. We lost the world. Right? So, read where you at.
Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26 and verse 27. A loud crying woman.
Wait a minute. Ecclesiasticus 3 and verse 26.
3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
3 and 26.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 26.
Go ahead.
A stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last.
Right. And due to our stubbornness as a people, it said we were going to fare evil at the last. Go ahead.
And he that loveth danger shall perish therein.
Read verse 27.
An obstinate heart shall,
Right. That stubborn mind, that forward mind. Go ahead.
an obstinate heart shall be laden with sorrow.
It said be laden with, you're going to be full of sorrow, man. That rebelliousness that we had on us as a nation. Now let's bring it back to relationships. When it was time for you to compromise and condescend to your partner, and you didn't want to do that because it was just your way or the highway. Some of you women are like that. It's just my way or the highway. He going to do what I say, and then he leaves. Think about it. That rebelliousness, that forwardness. It says you laden with sorrows. You laden with heartbreak. You laden with anguish. Go back. Listen. If you don't believe me, just go back to your mental Rolodex of relationships and think about, like, why did we break up? Well, I was too overbearing. I was unbalanced. I wanted things to be done my way. I didn't care about my partner. I didn't care about what he said. It didn't matter. It was all about me. Right? So it said you were laden with sorrows. Go ahead.
God, and the wicked man shall keep sin upon sin.
Right. And it says a wicked man is going to heap sin upon sin. And we're going to get into that part. Because why? You go through your sorrows. If you don't use the right method to get through it, you're just going to be, let me self-medicate, eat, drink, party.
Yeah.
Go to Luke 4:18. You said what?
I said whore around.
Whore around, yeah. Promiscuous. I said that wrong. Promiscuous. Promiscuous girl. That's a song, right? Come. Go to Luke 4:18. Go to Luke 4:18. So we understand, man. Just trying to show y'all, where does the sorrow really come from for the nation? And then just look at your own life, your own doings, and say, man, where has my sorrow as an individual, where has it came from? Well, technically it's came from the same place. It's came from a lack of using wisdom, just on a smaller scale. It came from a lack of balance, a lack of care, a lack of charity, just on a smaller scale. And then when you compile it all, right, you say, oh, now I see how the nation went off. But check this out. Go to Luke 4:18.
Luke chapter 4 and verse 18. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor.
Right?
He has sent me.
Now that we have the Spirit of the Lord, because you got a lot of brokenhearted people in here that are still holding on to hurt, still holding on to past pain, still holding on to past feelings of how they were done 10 years ago, 15 years ago. If you're old enough, 20, 30 years ago, man. You got people that are still holding on to past hurt. But now that we have the Spirit, now that we've all been endowed with the Spirit, what are we supposed to do? Go ahead.
Because he had anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor.
Read.
He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted.
So that's clue number one. Clue number one is we preach the gospel to the poor. Right? Because aren't poor people in a state of sorrow of mind? Aren't they in a state of brokenheartedness, not being able to hope for that good? So the gospel, it said preach the gospel. Go ahead.
To preach deliverance to the captives.
To preach, wait, you skipped the part. Preach the gospel to the poor. Go ahead.
He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted.
To heal who?
The brokenhearted.
See, it was about healing the brokenhearted. Go ahead.
To preach deliverance to the captives.
Right? Because it said back in, if I'm not mistaken, it was back in Isaiah where he said, this people is robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are all hid in prison houses. So he said to free the captives, come on.
And recovering of sight to the blind.
Come on.
To set a liberty of them that are bruised.
Right, so that's the job. That's the mission, to heal the broken heart, right? So how does this get done? What's the first step to alleviating? Now we about to get into the class. That was the intro. All that other stuff was the intro. How do we alleviate and heal a broken heart? What's step number one? Who knows?
Confess your faults one to another.
You close. You're close, but put it like this. Let's say your heart was broken by a person. What do you got to do? What do you have to do? Forget about them. The person that hurt you, right? What do you have to do as an individual? You got to do what? You got to forgive. That's first and foremost. Go to Ecclesiastes 28. Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha 28. See, the word will tell you, bottle up your feelings, act like it didn't happen, erase them from your memories, right? That's what the world tells you, man. Like, just do all the things besides use wisdom. But we got to forgive, man. That's first and foremost. Now, I want y'all to check this out. And you got to look at it like this. Take y'all a little bit into the rabbit hole. The Most High put us in a state of sorrow and anguish and brokenheartedness, right? You forgive him? God. So how much more the brother that you see? How you going to forgive the Most High you've never seen? What about the brother you see every day or the sister you see every day that hurt you? You see what I'm saying? Because wouldn't it be hypocritical to say, well, yeah, I forgive the Most High, but you hate your brother because he hurt you? So you gotta really understand what you're saying. Read that. Ecclesiastes 28 verse 2.
Con, Ecclesiastes chapter 28, verse 2.
Read verse 1.
Con, he that revenges shall find vengeance.
Right, because that's the first thing, right? Like, let me go get vengeance. Let me go revenge myself for the hurt that you caused me. I'm going to go slash your tires. What's that one song she's talking about? Breaking his car tires, busting windows out, to take a 45 Louis Slugger to his new headlights, right? This little country song. Yeah, scratch up his leather seats, right? Because ain't that what they do in the world? Like, oh, nigga, you sleeping around? I'm going to go key your car. You come out, car is keyed, windows broke, or some type of, I'm going to call CPS on you or whatever it is, man. I'm going to get your food stamps cut off. Ain't that how Jake thinks? Like, man, she left me. I'm calling CPS on her ass. Right? Or I'm going to make sure she get her food stamps. I'm going to go tell them I was living with her so they cut off her tariff. Ain't that how we think? Like, I'm going to go get revenge. That's always the first thought. Get revenge. That's going to make me feel better. But read.
He that revenges shall find vengeance.
He shall do what?
He shall find vengeance.
You're going to find vengeance. Come on.
From the Lord.
Read.
And he will surely keep his sins in remembrance.
See, when you get into that mind state of, I got to avenge myself, the Most High said he's going to keep your sins in remembrance. So the first step is not to act out of emotions, get revenge, avenge your pride, avenge your honor. The first step to healing a broken heart is to forgive. It's going to tell us here, read. Verse 2.
Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he hath done unto thee.
Go ahead.
So shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest.
Right, because how can you ask the Most High for forgiveness for your sins, but you haven't forgiven the hurt that was done to you by your brother? It's like he said, if you got alt with your brother and you come to the altar with a gift,
Yeah.
you better drop that gift and go deal with your brother.
God.
The Most High is going to reject that gift. Right, you got to reconcile with your brother. Again, how can you love the Most High that you've never seen, but hate your brother that you see every day? Hate your sister that you see every day? It don't work. It don't work like that for the Most High. See, we think that that's how it's supposed to be, but the Most High don't deal like that. He's like, you better fix it with the one that's in front of you. Read on.
Come. One man beareth hatred against another.
Right?
And doeth he seek pardon from the Lord?
Yeah, it's like, man, you hate this person because they wronged you in the past, or you went through a bad breakup, and you hold on to these feelings. But then now think about it. We get the knowledge, we get the wisdom, but you still hold on to that grudge, that ill feeling, that hurt. You were supposed to understand, you know what? The first step to my recovery is to forgive. It's up to that person if they want to come and confess what they got to confess and they're wrong. But the first step to my recovery is to forgive. Because again, when the Most High was whooping us as a nation, when the Most High brings you through all your trials and tribulations, when he brings all that evil on you, like it says in Job, will the Most High not reward you good and evil also? So when he gives you that evil, you don't sit there a year later like, man, F the Lord. Man, F the Most High because he put me through this situation. You ain't doing that. You sitting back like, Barakatah Yahweh, I made it. And then you go back and you pray to the Most High. You ask him for things. You pray for forgiveness. So you forgive the Most High every time he puts you through a trial. Think about it. You got to think about it. Every time he puts you through something, you forgive. And he's constantly putting us through things. Right? Our problem is you're looking at who he's putting you through with. You're looking at the face and saying, you did this to me. Such and such did this. Shaddach, you did that to me. You wronged me. Mm-hmm. No. The Most High put you in an arena with this person to use wisdom. And because my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, the wrong wisdom is used, and that's where the hurt and pain comes from. So who do we really got to blame? For the heartache. He said it in Jeremiah. Why are you crying? Why are you crying for the heartache? You did this. Right? But then think about it again. You forgive the Most High. You forgive the hurt that he brings us through the trial. You're like, oh man, Most High just tested me. You take it with a grain of salt. But the job was to forgive the one that you were in the arena with, going through whatever offenses or whatever hurt, whatever pain. Y'all see that? Read on.
Verse 4. He showed no mercy to a man which is like himself.
Wait, he did what?
He showed no mercy to a man which is like himself.
Because the one that caused the hurt and caused the pain, you know why he's just like you? Because, I'm going to say it again, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. There was no wisdom, no knowledge being used in the situation. So he's just like you because you toss out hurt and pain. They toss out hurt and pain. Somebody's going to come away scarred, battered, and bruised, right? Some more than others. But he's just like you in the matter of what? He wants forgiveness of his sins too. Right? So what are we going to do? Grudge each other? Hate each other? Well, it was about forgiveness first. Read on.
And doeth he ask forgiveness of his own sins?
Right? Where you at?
Verse 5.
And doeth he ask forgiveness of his own sins? Yeah. Of course. But see, remember, there's a flip side. To that person, what would they have to do? You said it, Lamont. What would that person have to do? The person that caused the hurt, caused the pain. They would have to confess their faults so that they could be healed of whatever they're dealing with the lack of wisdom, knowledge, understanding, where they're causing offenses and pain. But you're first, the one that is being hurt or the one that's holding on to the grudge, the hurt, the pain. The first thing you got to understand is to forgive. You have to learn how to forgive. Like the world says, right? What does it say? I can forgive, but I won't forget.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but then what mind state does that put you in? It does what we said, right? It puts you in that box. You cocoon yourself, right? We're going to go there. Go to Matthew 6:14. Go to Matthew. What verse did you read down to? Verse 4, right?
4.
Go to Matthew 6:14. So the first step to healing a broken heart or getting rid of that hurt, that baggage is to forgive. Read Matthew 6:14.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 14. For if ye forgive men their trespasses,
right,
your heavenly Father will also forgive you.
He will do what?
Also forgive you.
Right. See, your forgiveness was contingent on, or excuse me, you being forgiven for your trespasses was contingent on your forgiveness. Yeah. Read on.
Verse 16. Moreover, when ye fast, be not.
That's it on that. Right? Read verse 14.
Verse 14.
Matthew 6:14. That's where you should have started.
Verse 14. For if ye forgive men their trespasses,
right,
your heavenly Father will also forgive you.
Right. Now read verse 15.
But if ye forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses.
You see that? Neither will he forgive your trespasses. Now, I just said it. Your being forgiven was contingent on your level of forgiveness. So the same judgment you threw out there, that's going to be the same judgment that you were met with. Now, we all fall short of the glory of the Most High. We all sin, and what do? We all stand face the east and ask the Most High to make us better. We ask the Most High to forgive us of our trespasses. We ask the Most High to wink at our iniquities. We ask the Most High not to destroy us in his anger. But guess what? He don't hear that if it's not in you to first say, you know what? Let me let go of the grudge. Let me let go of the hatred. Let me let go of the sorrow of the mind. Let me let go of this brokenhearted spirit towards my brother or my sister. Go back to Ecclesiastes 28 and start at verse 5.
Verse 5. If he that is but flesh nourisheth hatred, who will entreat for pardon of his sin?
Yeah, you see that? You nourishing hatred because that's what you're doing. When we don't forgive first and foremost, you nourish that hateful spirit. You nourish that grudge. And we know what that goes into. Because you're not nourishing love, unity, charity, peace. Go ahead.
God, who will entreat for pardon of his sin?
Yeah, who's going to entreat for your sins when you nourish and hate? Nobody. The Most High is not hearing that, man. Go ahead.
Remember thy end, and let enmity cease.
You know that enmity? Look up the word. That separation, that I'm against you. Somebody look up enmity. It says, remember thy end. Meaning, you got to look and see, man, how do you want to be judged? How do you want to be looked at by the Most High? Who got enmity?
The state or feeling of being actively opposed.
Right. He said, let that opposition go, man. Let that grudge go. Let that contention go. He said, let enmity cease. Come on.
Remember corruption and death. And abide
he said, remember what?
Corruption and death.
Right, because that's where these things come from. With enmity, with hatred. Corruption and death, man. Go ahead.
And abide in the commandment.
And do what?
Abide in the commandment.
And the commandments say what? What does Leviticus 19:17 say? It says, hate not thy brother in thy heart, and grudge not against your neighbor. Go ahead, read on.
Remember the commandments and bear no malice to thy neighbor.
Because even though you've been hurt and you might feel in your mind like I'm justified to hold on to my feelings, I'm going to show you why you're not. Well, The scriptures are going to show you why you're not. But first and foremost, you can't hold on to your feelings because it's not going to allow you to forgive. It says, let go of what? It said, read verse 7. I'm going to show you something.
Remember the commandments and bear no malice.
And bear no what?
No malice.
No what?
No malice.
Come on.
To thy neighbor.
Read.
Remember the covenant of the height. And wink at ignorance.
Like how the Most High said he winked at our ignorance. You know what you got to do sometimes? All the time? You got to wink at the ignorance of the person that caused you harm, caused you hurt, caused you pain. You got to wink at that and say, you know what? Forgive them, Father. They know not what they have done. Just like when they was stoning and killing Christ, did he send down fire from off the cross? Or did he say, you know what, Father? Forgive them. They know not what they do. I'm going to die for them. I'm going to shed blood. I'm going to forgive them of their sins. I'm going to take on their sins, come back, resurrect, go stand on the right side of power, right? And then come back and save them. Think about that. Imagine if Yahweh Shai bear grudges towards us. And imagine if he bared the grudge of, y'all niggas got me killed. Remember, who's the one that stoned Yahweh Shai? Who's the ones that gave him up to Rome? Was it not Israel? When you go into Yahweh Shai, when he got buried by a Pharisee, man. You got his burial preparations and all that. That was a Jew. So imagine if he bared that vengeance and didn't forgive. Bro, there would be no salvation for Israel. It would be, y'all niggas is wicked. I ain't coming down for y'all. Screw y'all. Imagine if he was like that big brother, right, that hates his little brothers. Man, look, you got me in trouble, man. I ain't messing with you, and he cut us off. Man, we'd be screwed, bro. Imagine if he was in our mind state of grudging and bearing malice. So we gotta really step back and look and see, man, am I holding malice? Well, you are. When you fester that hate, you hold malice in your heart. Go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 4. Now, we understand that when you hold that malice, what happens? When you hold that grudge, that hatred, what happens? This is what happens. Wisdom of Solomon, 1 and 4.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 4.
Come on.
For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter.
You see that? So, what wisdom is needed in this case? Well, the wisdom to understand it, I gotta forgive first and foremost. When I've been hurt or felt like I've been wronged or offended. But if your first reaction is to react like the world told us and just revenge, cut a nigga off, you good. You know how they do it in the world? Like, you good means everything's okay, everything's not okay. I'm gonna get you back. I don't need to get you back. Right? You good. No, I'm good. And you just stone faced with a person? That's malicious, man. And it says what? Read it one more time.
For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter.
Right. So now the wisdom to get past hurt and pain is not entering into you. But what is? Read on.
Nor dwell in a body that is subject unto sin.
Now that sin is what enters. How? Well, because the world told me to get rid of the anger, I gotta be drunk. I gotta be high. I gotta be pilled out on bars. Just numb yourself. Right? Just eat all the pain away. Tubs of ice cream and binge Netflix. See, the world says subject yourself to sin and that will fix it. But the wisdom says wisdom ain't gonna go into you if you subject yourself to sin. If you overmuch drunk, or if you high or on pills and weed and coke and crack, or if you just say, you know, I'm gonna just live free as a bird. I'm gonna be high on life. I'm gonna just do whatever comes to me. I'm gonna just cater to my feelings. There's no wisdom in that. So what comes? It says, remember thy end. We just read it earlier. He said, remember thy end, right? He said, corruption and death is what comes. when that malicious spirit is in you and the wisdom is not able to pierce and show you the right way. Corruption and death. The commandments no longer take precedent, but how I feel and what I want to eat, drink, how I want to take and remedy my hurt and pain is what takes over. Y'all get that, right? So now what happens once, and we got to look at this two ways. The wisdom comes in, because now you understand, oh wait, I got to forgive. Let me not first just get angry and get upset. Let me wink at ignorance. You say, you know what? Let me forgive this person. Yahweh Shai forgive us. I want Yahweh Shai to forgive me of my sins. You know what? I forgive you. I'm going to put it, when they say Jesus take the wheel, right? I'm going to put it in the Lord's hands. It was always in his hands. You never had the wheel. I always say he was never a driver. He was always a passenger. You know what you were like? You know, back in the day, like my dad back in the day, what he used to do, he used to put you in the lap in the driver's seat and let you act like you was steering when he was hitting the gas. That's what you were like. You had a front row of the driver's seat, but you never was really in control because the whole time he had his hands here and you were so naive to see. You thought you was doing something. You were just happy to look through the window like, yay! Right? That's what it was, man. We never had control. It was always in the hands of the Most High. But now that you're saying, okay, Jesus, Yahweh Shai, take the wheel. What would Jesus do? And you put yourself in the mind of forgiveness, then now it's easier to go through all the other fundamental steps of forgiveness. Right? Going to that person, not bearing that grudge, being able to deal with a person, not letting your hurt and pain. Think about this. How many of y'all have carried over hurt and pain from one relationship to the other?
Right.
Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. How many of y'all have taken the baggage from the 5-year relationship of yelling, screaming, lack of wisdom into a relationship now where it should be wisdom, knowledge, understanding, dwell with your wives according to knowledge, wives be subject to your own husband. Because now I've been hurt so long and so much, and I haven't forgiven, so I can't relinquish control of my spirit to no man. I'll let him tell me where to put the money to pay a bill, but to really lead my spirit and really take that role, I'm not going to give him that power. Because why? I don't trust. Don't that happen? That's where lack of trust comes from. Lack of faith in what the Most High has given you in your partner. Now, let's look at it the flip side. Let's stay on that path, actually. Because now that the wisdom is not entering into you and the forgiveness is not there, just said it. Now you're guarded, right? Guards is up. We talked about that earlier. I got to guard my feelings. I got to guard my emotions. I got to guard my mind because it's natural human instinct to say, I've been through pain. Pain is a teacher, ain't it? You burn your hand on a fire, don't put your hand on the fire. Right. I done learned. You're going to learn today, right? You're going to learn today. And you tell your child, don't touch the stove, it's hot. Well, I want to find out. Okay, now I know. Don't ever touch that stove. It might be hot all the time, right? It's a teacher. Now you're guarded. Now when they go by the stove, you're like, huh. But now put yourself in the realm of everything that we do as Israelites is for what?
It's for the betterment of our people.
It's for one another.
Yeah.
It's for the next brother, the next sister. But if you're guarded, go to Wisdom of Solomon, go to Ecclesiastes 29. Go to Ecclesiastes 29 and 7. If everything that we do is for one another, but I'm guarded, I'm really not here to do nothing for nobody. I can't do anything for anyone. Because I'm looking for the next offense. I'm looking for the next pain, the next suffering. I'm too busy trying to guard my mind against that. So I can't really 100% let my guard down. Right?
Come on.
Ain't that how it is in relationships? When I got with this new dude, I know he's not the same guy as the nigga from 10 years ago that beat me, that punched me in the face, that kicked me, that burned cigarettes on me, that pimped me, that put me on dancing poles. I know he's not the same guy, but I gotta be guarded. Because just in case he turns out to be the same. And I gotta look at every little red flag and everything that looks like a red flag or every little trigger and say, see, he's the same. See, she's the same. But are you giving a person a fair chance? No. Every man got to be judged off of his doings, right? Every woman got to be judged off of what they do. I can't be judged off of what happened to you 10 years ago if I wasn't there. But see, we get into that mind because of this. Read Ecclesiastes 29:7.
God, many therefore have refused to live.
Now, we know that this chapter in the context is speaking of money when you read this chapter, but let's look at it on a more broader level. Present yourselves as a living sacrifice. Romans 12 and verse 1. Put that in your head. Present yourself as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable. Read it again.
Many therefore have refused to live.
So what is it that they refuse to lend? Themselves. Right? You know what I'm saying? They refuse to lend themselves, and even if they do, it's not wholeheartedly like the scriptures say. When you get into that new relationship, you double dutching. You like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm gonna tiptoe in there real quick. I'm gonna put the toe in, but I'm gonna keep 1 foot out because I just don't know. I don't trust you because you might be the same as the last guy or the same as the last woman, right?
Right.
Because I haven't forgiven yet. I haven't did the first principle thing, which was to let go of that hurt. I haven't forgiven. So now I got to be mindful of everyone. I got to be guarded when it comes to everyone. Now I want y'all to understand that I'm not saying you be naive. But the scriptures do say, prove a friend. So, and we're going to get into that. But the mind state goes here to the extreme left. Like, see, I'm just leaving myself for the rest of my life. Man, I can do all that. You see it all over in social media. The antisocial social club, right? I can do all bad by myself. I don't need nobody. Like, I see Fabulous. He posted something on Twitter today. He was like, yeah, when I ask people for help, they don't help me. And then it just motivates me even more, so they're really helping me. I'm like, and everybody's like, see, that's a Scorpio trait. I'm like, the hell? The hell are y'all talking about Scorpio traits? And bro, that's retardism. That's because you've been hurt through life so much that forgiveness you didn't learn. So now you like, oh, it's all about me. I'm by myself. But the scriptures say, woe to that man that is left alone. For when he falls, who will be there to pick him up? So you see, there's no wisdom in the world on how to alleviate this mind state. Read it again.
Many therefore have refused to live for others' ill dealing.
For others what?
For other men's ill dealing.
Why? Read.
Fearing to be defrauded.
Because that's what our mind is on. Like, man, is this person here to harm me? Is this person here to hurt me? Are they going to destroy my feelings? Are they going to defraud me of the good that I'm hoping for?
Right.
Are they going to put me back in that sorrow, that broken heart that I once was in? See, because that's what that broken heart is, right? It's the depriving of what's hoped for that's good. So you're looking like, how is this person coming to hurt me? How does that even make sense? You might as well not be in a relationship. You might as well not deal with people if you're looking to see how are they going to harm you. A person comes to you, they need your help, and you don't make yourself available, because we all have something to give to one another, regardless of rank, regardless of how long you've been here. We all have lessons that we can teach one another. We all have experience. Now, if I'm not around to give and offer my experiences in life, whether it be good or bad, I'm defrauding the next man of their learning on some level. Because why? My own selfishness, my own lack of forgiveness, right? But you want to learn. You want to get it. Someone's making themselves available through their hurt, through their pain, through their sorrow. We've all been hurt. Remember, we've all been hurt. I've been hurt. I've been through the sorrow of the mind. I've been through the heartbreak, the heartache. But I can't let that stop me from doing my purpose and doing the will of the Most High. I can't be like, well, man, listen. Women ain't crap. Bros ain't crap. Everybody's whack. I ain't gonna make myself be around. I done seen so many faces come and go. Imagine if we were in that mind of leaders. Think about leaders, how, think about how many people walk through these doors, man, that we teach. And think about how many people stay. Could we be in the mind like, man, niggas is whack, bro. Yeah, I'm not teaching no more because Israel don't get it. They don't want to be here. They show up for a week and they leave. Right? But when they do stay, they disgruntled and mad and upset. It's easy, but now I'm defrauding the next man of his learning. Because why? My lack of forgiveness, if that was there. So you see how this forgiveness has to be there on the end of the one that's been hurt. Right? Go to Matthew 5:42. Matthew 5:42.
Come. Matthew chapter 5, verse 42.
Read.
Give to him that asketh thee.
Wait, he said what?
Give to him that asketh thee.
This was Yahweh Shai speaking. He said, give to him that ask of thee. Now, he ain't saying, listen, if a nigga asks you for drugs, or if some random dude asks you to give up the goods. Nah. He's going back and showing that you got to be there for your brother. Go ahead.
And from him that would borrow of thee, turn not thou away.
You see that? You can't be afraid to lend yourself, because when you did lend, the person that borrowed ain't give it back. Right? You lend a nigga $5 and you have to go get it from him. Man, I lent a brother my juicer and he broke it. Or more importantly, I gave myself, I let my guard down to this individual 5, 10, 15, 30 years ago. And I'm guarded, so now when the Most High sends the right thing along, I'm not going to let my guard down. You see, I'm hitting two planes here. Go ahead, read on.
Come. Verse 43.
Uh-huh.
Ye have heard that it hath been said,
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor.
Thou shalt do what?
Love thy neighbor.
Come on.
And hate thine enemy.
Because it was said in the old days to love thy neighbor and hate that enemy. But check out what Yahweh Shai was coming to bring the edification on. Read.
But I say unto you, love your enemy.
He said what?
Love your enemy.
Now, how can you do that if you haven't forgiven them for the hurt? You can't. So the first step has to be forgiveness. Read.
Bless them that curse you.
Go ahead.
Do good to them that hate you.
Uh-huh.
And pray for them which despitefully use you.
Wait, and do what?
Pray for them which despitefully use you.
See, pray for them that use you spitefully. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get over on him. Or yeah, I'm just with him for the come up. I'm gonna trick on this nigga. Right? Or you get cheated on, or whatever the case may be. Scriptures say pray for them that despitefully use you. Go ahead.
And persecute you.
And persecute you. Read Psalms 112 and verse 5. See, but the only way to pray for someone that despitefully uses you, you got to be in that mental forgiveness mode. You got to be in that mind of Yahweh Shai. Forgive them, Father, because that's what he did. When he was on that cross and they strung him up like a damn dog, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. He winked at the ignorance. Go ahead, read Psalms 112 and 5.
A good man showeth favor.
Uh-huh.
And lendeth.
And do what?
And lendeth.
And do what?
And lendeth.
Come on.
He will guide his affairs with discretion.
You see that? So a good man showeth favor and lends. But it said he's going to do it out of what?
Discretion.
See, it's not out of being naive and dumb and just, you said to lend, so I'm just lending. No, he's doing it now with discretion. Discretion. Check this out. Or discreet. I look up the word discreet. It says prudent. Wise in avoiding errors or evil. Because, check this out. When you're not able to forgive those that despitefully use you, when you're not able to forgive, what's happening is you're running off of emotions. That malice, when it says wisdom will not enter into a malicious spirit. That malice is really your emotions. It's your hate, it's your envy, it's your jealousy, it's your some people run off the motor of revenge. Some people run off of revenge. So it says, lend and guide your affairs with discretion. Now, to be discreet, wise in avoiding errors or evil. So what is the evil? I just said it. What is the evil? The evil is your emotions. The malice. Your emotions. So if you're being discreet, you're not moving off the emotion. You're moving off the wisdom. Right? It says, and in selecting the best means to accomplish a purpose. Because what is the purpose? The purpose is this. He wrongs me or he does something offensive. Right? He hurt my spirit. What is the purpose of the wisdom? To be used and to accomplish either gaining him back and reconciling, not to create enemies. So, but we accomplish a purpose of what? Rendering evil for evil, right? We accomplish that somehow real easy. It's like we're quick to render evil for evil, railing for railing, hatred. We're quick to render these things to each other to accomplish the purpose of more sorrow, more hatred, bringing us right back into that mind state, bringing us right back into the curses, where we should be accomplishing the purpose of unity, love, peace, charity, the fruits of the Spirit, right? It says circumspect, cautious, not rash. This is being discreet. It says, so read Psalms 112 and 5. Somebody else get Proverbs 19 and 11.
Psalm chapter 112 and verse 5.
Right.
A good man showeth favor.
Right.
And lendeth.
So a good man will lend. Go ahead.
He will guide his affairs with discretion.
Right, because he's not using the emotion. He's not using the anger, the hatred, the revenging spirit. He's trying to accomplish, he's selecting the best means to accomplish a purpose. He's avoiding errors or evil. Go to Proverbs 19 and verse 11.
Proverbs chapter 19, verse 11.
Come on.
The discretion of a man deferreth his anger.
You see that? It says the discretion of a man deferreth his anger. When you defer, it brings it down or it passes it over. Like I said, you got a deferred payment, we don't skip that. We skipping those payments. Anybody ever had school loans and you got your payments deferred? Right? You got those looked over. We're going to put those to the side. Right? Temporarily, for cooler heads to prevail. But it says, the discretion of a man, the willingness to accomplish the purpose without causing evil, right, or making errors, will defer his anger because he's no longer operating out of the spirit of anger and revenge. Because why? He first understood, I got to forgive. Then the wisdom is able to go in and give him the other steps. Go ahead, finish it up.
Con. And it is his glory to pass over a transgression.
You see that? And it's his glory. It's his pleasure to pass over the transgressions. Wink at that ignorance. Y'all see that? Now go to Romans 12 and 21. Now, if you're not doing this, you're rendering evil for evil. You're rolling in that malice. You're rolling. Remember, go back. Romans 12:21. Somebody get that Wisdom of Solomon one more time. Get that Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 4 one more time. Yeah. Wisdom of Solomon 1 and verse 4. So I'm giving you two sides here. How a man that's using discretion is able to let the wisdom work for him. But now we're going to see how a person that uses the anger and revenge and the hatred and when you hold on to it, that heartbreak, what happens? Read.
For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter.
Right, because we know that maliciousness comes from you holding on to the hurt. It builds that anger. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 4. Go ahead.
Come, for into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter.
Right, now read Romans 12 and 21.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 21. Be not overcome of evil.
Uh-huh.
But overcome evil with
The
good.
scriptures say, be not overcome with evil. That evil is your emotions. First and foremost. That evil is the malice that's building up. The evil is the fact that you were able to hold on to a grudge for 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, and let it just sit in your bosom. Because now, when certain things start to happen in the present time, what do you refer back to? You refer back to that hurt.
Yeah, that old hurt.
But not in the right way. Remember, that old hurt was supposed to teach us.
Gone.
But not for you to hold on and say, you just like him. See, you just like her. That old hurt was supposed to teach you something. 1 Peter 3 and verse 8. First Peter 3 and verse 8.
1 Peter chapter 3, verse 8.
Come on.
Finally, be ye all of one mind,
Right?
having compassion one of another.
Having what?
Compassion one of another.
Yeah, man, let me forgive this brother. Because I want forgiveness. Go ahead.
Love as brethren.
Come on.
Be pitiful.
Read.
Be courteous.
Come on.
Not rendering evil for evil.
Because that's what happens when the maliciousness is blocking the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding. You render evil for evil. Now I gotta revenge myself. Read.
Or railing for railing.
Come on.
But contrary-wise, blessing.
Yeah, you see that? It says, bless them that despitefully use you. So you might have wronged me in the past, but the scriptures say on the contrary, you got to do blessings. Come on.
Knowing that ye are thereunto called,
Uh-huh.
that ye should inherit a blessing.
Read verse 10.
For he that will love, Salah, for he that will love life
Uh-huh.
and see good days,
Right?
let him refrain his tongue from evil.
Yeah, because if you're hoping for that good, you want to get out that sorrow of the mind, that anguish, that rendering evil for evil. It says you got to refrain your tongue from evil. Let me stop talking bad about this person. Let me stop talking about the wrong they did to me. Go ahead.
Con. And his lips, that they speak no guile.
Read on.
Let him eschew evil.
Let him run to evil.
Eschew evil.
You're supposed to brush evil to the side, man. Go ahead.
And do good.
Read.
Let him seek peace.
Wait, let him what?
Seek peace.
See, do you want peace? Or do you want contempt and contention and arguing and bitterness? You want to see good days? Or you want to still be hurt? You want to hang on to the baggage? Or do you want to be free? Free in the mind. Free of sorrow. Come on.
And eschew it. For the eyes of the Most High are over the righteous.
See, because the Most High is looking. He's saying, wait a minute. How is she handling the pain? Is she dwelling on it? Is she holding on to the past? Is she keeping that right here in the corner pocket to bring it out when there's an argument? But see, 5 years ago, you did this. She's stabbing you with the 5 years ago talk. Well, last week, nigga, da-da-da-da. Or I remember that one time when you did this and this and this. See, the Most High is looking. Did you forget? Did you forgive? Did you defer your anger through discretion? Or you letting that anger build up and rest in you? It says anger rests in the bosom of fools. So are you being foolish? Go ahead.
And his ears are up. And his ears are open unto their prayers.
But whose prayers? Not the unforgiving. He's only hearing the prayers of the ones that are able to forgive and keep the commandment. It said, he that failed to hear the commandment of the Lord, even his prayers will be an abomination. So the commandment is love your brother as thyself. The commandment is bear not no grudge against your neighbor. The commandment is to forgive the hurt that's been done unto you. He ain't hearing no prayers if you got a hateful heart, or if you got a non-forgiving heart, if you holding on to that heartbreak, that sorrow. He ain't hearing that. He's not hearing anything you asking for. Go ahead.
But the face of the Most High is against them that do evil.
Right, because it's evil to hold grudge, malice, hatred. Read verse 13.
And who is he that will harm you.
Right?
If ye be followers of that which is good.
Now check this out. Now, if you following the good and keeping the commandments and following the wisdom, there is no need to be guarded to the point where I can't lend myself. It just said it. Who's going to harm you if you be followers of good? If I'm following the Most High wholeheartedly, what harm can really come to me? He said, bless them that despitefully use you. So what does that mean? It means you're going to be despitefully used. That's part of the damn program. That's part of the regimen. Approving ourselves as ministers, as giving ourselves, this is what's going to happen. People are going to come and use and abuse you. But if you're in the right mind, you're not looking at like, oh, people just coming through and using and abusing you. You're not in that mind like, oh, they're just using me up. When people ain't using and abusing me, they're taking for granted what the love and charity that the Most High got for them through us. I don't look at them being used and abused. If you want to come and leave, that's on you. But you're doing despite to the grace. It ain't my grace to give. So we got to get out that mind of, well, oh, they're doing it to me. Nah, they ain't doing it to you. They're doing it to the Most High. Right. And Christ. And to themselves. Right? So what is it that you got to do? What's the next step? Once you forgive, you got to let go of these strongholds. Go to Ecclesiastes 30 and 21. You got to let go of the pain. Once you forgive, you got to let it go, man. Let it go. Move on. Right? You good. Ain't that, but you got to really believe it. Yeah, you good. I'm good. Not I'm good, but when I see you, I'm going to have an ill outlook towards you. Or I'm going to just brush you off and act like you ain't nobody. I'm going to still be brotherly, sisterly, charitable. You need something, I got it. When one suffer, we all suffer. When one's blessed, we all blessed. I'm here to present my life for you. No greater love than a man lay on his life for his brethren. Well, I ain't here to, well, that nigga, I'm not going to lay my life down for him because he, last year, man, he rubbed me wrong. So, man, if he needs something, it depends on what it is. But this brother over here, I'll lay my life down for him. Like, you can't do that. You can't be in that mind. So you got to let it go. Read Ecclesiastes 30:21.
Con, give not over thy mind to heaviness.
Right? Come on.
And afflict not thyself in thine own counsel.
Because ain't that what happens? That grudging, that hateful spirit, it weighs on you. And it stays on your mind. You know how much strength it takes to hate a person? To keep up that facade? To keep up that BS facade? Man, you know how much strength it takes to hold on to pain? Like they say, it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. It takes more energy to hold a grudge than to just let it go, man. Because you hold it on, right? You straining yourself, about to blow an O-ring. When you can just smile and let it go, right? Jesus, take the wheel. Read on.
The gladness of the heart of S.O.W. And afflict not thyself in thy own counsel.
Go ahead, verse 22.
The gladness of the heart is the life of men.
You see that? This is where life is, man, in the gladness. It says, him that would love good days and long days, let him eschew evil. Don't we want to live glad? Go ahead, read on.
And the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days.
Think about how many people done died from a broken heart. They done died from sorrow and anguish. They done died from holding grudges. They done died from that stress. High blood pressure, because why? I done held a grudge with my brother from 30 years ago. Because, and then when every funeral you go to, I got family members like that, man. Every time it's a funeral, and there's not that many in my family, it's only been like 4. But every funeral, man, the same 2 people always going at it. My cousin and mom, they've been going at it for years. Off of something that she said. He's been holding his grudge. Now his grudge has trickled over to the whole family. He cut everybody off.
I've known grudges to last damn near a lifetime.
Yeah.
And then when that one person that they were grudging against is dead, they go, oh, I always wanted to reconcile with them.
Yeah.
But it's like, how come you didn't
You better
Take
give
the
them.
time when they was alive.
You better give them the roses when they can smell them.
Right.
Don't wait till they buried, man. But that's the problem. Then you start. That even brings more heaviness. Like, damn. Now I feel bad because I didn't really get a chance to tell them how I really felt because I was holding on to it. Think about that. Y'all watch the movies. Y'all see the shows. Y'all see it, man. Where you hold on. Somebody passed. They get crushed up in a car, and you like, damn, man. I wish I would have really had a chance to speak my mind. Now that brings a heaviness to you. Go ahead, read on.
Con, love thy own soul,
right,
and comfort thy heart.
Read.
Remove sorrow far from thee.
It says do what?
Remove sorrow far from thee.
Yeah, you gotta remove these feelings, man. Remove them far from you. Read on.
For sorrow hath killed many.
Wait, sorrow has done what?
Killed many.
Bro, you're gonna die behind that sorrow, behind that grudge. Read on.
And there is no profit therein.
Ain't no profit in the grudge. Ain't no profit in letting your feelings dictate how you get over heartbreak. Read.
And there is no profit therein.
Read verse 24.
Envy and wrath shorten the life.
Envy and wrath do what?
Shorten the life.
Now, read on.
And carefulness bringeth age before the time.
See that? That carefulness? I gotta watch everything. That evil suspicion, everybody's here to harm you. It says, carefulness bringeth age before time. You start stressing the hell out. You 19 with a whole head of grays, and it ain't from wisdom. Because you stressed. Your diet starts to suffer. Everything starts to suffer around you. Because why? I'm not using the wisdom to help get past this heartbreak. So first and foremost is what? Forgive. Second is you gotta truly let it go, man. Let it go. Free yourself from those shackles. Right? Read on.
A cheerful and good heart.
That's it on that. Go to 2 Corinthians 10 and 3. So how do we do it? How do we let go? Well, we know how we let go. We have the wisdom. 2 Corinthians 10 and verse 3. Read that.
2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 3.
Right?
For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh.
Come on.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
So we got to understand that this is not a carnal thing that we're dealing with. It's a spirit. Grudging, hatred, malice. The sorrow of the mind is a spirit. It says it's mental anguish. So it's a spirit that's on you. So we got to understand that first and foremost. So how do we fight spirit? Well, we fight spirit with spirit. How do Yahushua fight spirit? Or these demons? He fought it with the spirit of the Most High. Read.
But mightily through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds.
Right, so we got to pull down and understand that this is a stronghold on my mind. So what is it now? The wisdom is giving me the clarity to understand and examine myself. Examine yourself whether you be in the faith. Damn, am I holding a grudge? Why is it that when this person comes around, I just tighten up? Or I just get so mad when they walk in the door that I got to leave the room? Or why is it that when their name is brought up, I cringe? Yeah. Or I just start to get the hot flashes and sweat. Or my adrenaline starts to pump. Well, now it's about examining yourself. Once you let things go, now you're really seeing, am I really letting things go? Or does this have a stronghold over my mind? Go ahead.
Casting down imagination.
What? Wait. Doing what?
Casting down imagination.
See, the weapons of our warfare cast down imaginations. Because a lot of us have imagined and had delusions of grandeur, that we were the victims in a lot of things. I'm sorry. But a lot of the hurt that we've been through, it was our own self-inflicted wounds. Relationships, nation, it was our own wrongdoings, man. It was our own lack of wisdom. So you got to cast down the imagination that you're just the victim. Now, I'm not saying that everything that's been done to us ain't the fault of someone else. Yeah, it's their fault too. Lack of wisdom. But cast down the imagination that woe is me. Cast down the imagination that you can't bounce back. That you got to hold this through life. Go ahead.
And every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High.
Right, because what does the knowledge say? First and foremost, forgive. No, I can't forgive. Hell no, I ain't forgiving him. Or I can forgive, but I won't forget. That's for, man, I can forgive, but I can't forget. You ain't really forgave.
I'm forgetful.
You'll forget everything else, but you won't forget 10 years ago. You forget all the scriptures that apply to the situation on how to get through, but you won't forget the actual situation. You'll be verbatim on that. But yeah, well, what does Ecclesiastes 28 and verse 2 say? Oh, I ain't never read that one, brother. Kanye shrug, right? we gotta be better at casting down these imaginations and these strongholds. Go ahead, read on.
And bringing into captivity
Uh-huh.
every thought.
Wait, so we gotta bring into captivity the things that are going into our mind. We gotta bring into captivity the feelings. All the emotions that we run off of, we gotta put those in captivity, man. And put chains on those. Not let the emotions put you in captivity. You a captivity to revenge. You a prisoner of your. I'm a prisoner tonight. Who was saying? I was just listening to that. That was the weekend, right? He said he's a prisoner. He was basically talking being a prisoner to his damn emotions. We can't be captive to our emotions and to the railing for railing, the hurt. We got to be captive to the wisdom and put the carnal man, the carnal thoughts, the thoughts that the world tells us on how to handle things into subjection. Go ahead.
To the obedience of Yahweh Shai.
Hebrews 4 and 12. Hebrews 4 and 12. Oh, I got to get through this, baby. Ooh. Oh, we almost there.
Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
For the perfection of the saints.
Hebrews 4 and 12.
Hebrews chapter 4.
Wait. Hold on. Where were you at just now? Where you were reading at?
I was in Ephesians 4 and 12. Okay.
Read 2 Corinthians 10 and verse 6 real quick. Might be.
2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 6.
Uh-huh.
Having a readiness to avenge all this.
No. Go back to Hebrews 4 and 12. I'm sorry.
Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. For the word of
and
the
you
Most.
see, wait, actually, read verse 6. Read verse 6 in Corinthians.
Come.
Yes, sir. Read verse 6.
2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 6.
Uh-huh.
Having in readiness to revenge all disobedience.
Right, because you'll sit there and tell someone to forgive. You got to forgive, brother. You got to forgive, sis. But you got to be in the readiness. The only way you're in the readiness is to avenge someone else's disobedience is when you're actually taking the steps yourself. Or else you're a hypocrite. So you got to be in the mind that I got to follow these steps too. It says having the readiness to avenge all disobedience. Come on.
When your obedience is fulfilled.
Right, now, is that saying that we're going to be perfect in our obedience? Of course not. Well, you got to at least be taking the steps that you're willing to dish out. You got to at least be following the counsel that you're giving. You can't be giving counsel and not following it. Or I'm going to give counsel and not follow no counsel at all. It don't work like that. Now go to Hebrews 4 and 12.
Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
For the word of the Most High is quick.
So we got to understand that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but spiritual. So we got to be using this word, man. It says the word is quick. Come on.
And powerful.
And what?
And powerful.
Go ahead.
And sharper than any two-edged sword.
Right, because while you swing that sword, while you swing this word, it cuts, but it heals. It cuts away that old man. But it's supposed to comfort you also to understand, man, if I forgive, then guess what? I'm going to need forgiveness. The Most High is going to forgive my sins. If I do this, this is going to be done for me. It might hurt to forgive. So for some people, they're like, I can't do it. But the consolation is that if I do it, then I'm going to get the reciprocal of what I'm giving. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
Piercing, even to the dividing of sunder of soul.
Go ahead.
And spirit.
Right.
And of the joints and marrow.
Read.
and is a discerner of the thoughts and intentions of the heart.
Right. So the things that you intended to do, the word is supposed to either back up the good or stop you from doing the bad. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
But most importantly, the word was the comfort. Yeah, it was going to reach into that spirit. Because ain't that what it do? That word be piercing the spirit, pierces the soul, pierces them bones, man. You get chills in them joints when that word hits, when you use the word to heal oneself. So, forgiveness, letting go, using the word, using the wisdom to get past. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 8 and verse 1. Because it says, and it is a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart. You use the word to see, well, what are my intentions like? Let me examine myself. What are my true intentions? Do they back up what the word says? Or excuse me, does the word back up my thoughts? Do my thoughts and intentions line up with what the wisdom says? Well, the wisdom says to forgive, to let it go, to move on. Don't be emotional. Am I examining myself and seeing that I'm lining myself up according to wisdom? Well, I am? Okay, well then good. I'm not? Well, I got to get on track. Wisdom of Solomon 8 and verse 1.
Come, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 8 verse 1. Wisdom reaches from one end to another, mightily,
read,
and sweetly doeth she order all things aright.
You see that? Wisdom is going to order your steps on how to get rid of the heartbreak. If you let it, if you don't let that maliciousness enter. It says it orders all things sweetly. Right? It says it goes from one end to the other. So it's telling you, man, wisdom is going to take care of your problems. If you let it. Only if you let it. Only if we let wisdom enter into us. And only if we use it and apply the knowledge for wisdom to come forth will it order the things of our life. Will it alleviate problems? Watch. Jump down to verse 9.
Verse 9. Therefore I propose to take her to me to live with me.
Right.
Knowing that she would be a counselor.
She'll be a what?
A counselor.
Come on.
Of good things.
Read.
And a comfort in care and grief.
You see that? Wisdom was supposed to be your comfort in cares of grief. In cares and in grief. Not your own counsel, not revenge and hatred, but wisdom. Nowhere does it tells you that malice is not profitable. There's no profit therein. Bearing a grudge, hatred. It said it. There's no profit therein, but it's telling us here that wisdom was going to be the counselor and the comfort in grief, in sorrow, in heartbreak. Go to Psalms 119 and 50. Psalms 119 and verse 50. So forgiveness, letting things go, applying knowledge. This is what got us in the sorrow of mine was my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. They don't know. They got a zeal, but not according to knowledge. Psalms 119 and verse 50.
Psalms chapter 119 and verse 50.
Come on.
This is my comfort in my affliction.
For
thy word hath quickened me.
It said my what?
Thy word hath quickened me.
Right. Psalms 119 and verse 50. It said thy word has quickened me. Thy word has comforted me. Psalms 107 and verse 20. Psalms 107 and verse 20.
Psalms of the 107 verse 20. He sent his word and healed them.
He did what?
He sent his word and healed them.
See, the word, man, the wisdom heals. The wisdom is going to get you past the heartache. But remember, what is wisdom? Is it that, the wisdom is going to do it? What is wisdom?
The correct application of knowledge.
The correctly application of knowledge. The correct application of what you know in the Bible. So correctly applying forgiveness, right?
Yeah.
Correctly having discretion. Correctly using your emotions. It ain't just like, oh, see, the wisdom is here to let me forgive. Or the wisdom is going to heal me. It don't work like that. Like, oh, it's just the wisdom. Yeah, but what is wisdom? Correctly applying knowledge. Well, the knowledge is that we got to forgive because this is why. How do I correctly apply these things and use discretion and use discernment to actually have the proper wisdom come forth? That I can look back and say, damn, I use wisdom. Look at what I've accomplished. Look at what I've gained. Look at how I've truly let go. You know, you got people that they're like, man, I let it go. And they can't, I just let it go. I just cleared my mind. No, you didn't. Because again, you see that person and you don't want to talk to them. Like the world's definition of letting go is like, I'm just not talking to that person. I'm just not dealing with them. I'm going to avoid them at all costs. But truly letting go is, and truly praying for those that despitefully use you is being able to be despitefully used by a person and then opening yourself up to be despitefully used again. Being used and abused and opening yourself up to be used and abused again. Ariel always says it, yes, please give me more. Right? Yes, please give me more. We do it every day. Think about it. Every day you go through your trial and tribulation. You open yourself up for the Most High to chastise and put you through something that some of us feel we don't deserve. But you do it. You do it. You're like, well, I got through that trial. And you carry on through life. Then the next trial pops up. You don't sit there and say, well, the trial ain't gonna happen. You know the trial is gonna happen. You open yourself up for that every time you keep moving forward in this wisdom. Y'all understand that? Read it one more time.
He sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destruction.
Because the wisdom, the word does heal. It does deliver from that destruction. Remember, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Wisdom of Solomon, 16 and verse 12.
God. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16 and verse 12. For it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster that restores them to health.
Right. See, it ain't going to be no herb. It ain't going to be the plaster you put with the broken arm, the cast. These are not the things that's going to restore you from this brokenhearted state, from this sorrow of mind. These are not the things that's going to restore us as a nation. Herb and plaster is not going to restore your relationship. It wasn't these things, and it's not these things. Nothing carnal. Remember, the weapons of our warfare are spiritual, not carnal, and mighty to the pulling down of strongholds. Ganja ain't going to pull down the strongholds in your mind.
God.
It's just going to weaken your mind so the strongholds get tighter.
That's right.
You ain't going to pour plaster down your nose to fix what's going on in your mind. It ain't going to fix it. It's one thing. And, you know, the pills and drugs and all that don't fix anxiety. I'm sorry. There's one thing that fixes anxiety. There's one comfort. The doctor will tell you, oh, because what does Esau have? They got a pill for everything. They got a medication for everything. You can't think right, got a medication for that. Can't get it up, medication for that. Heart disease, high blood pressure, there's a medication for that. You anxious, we got a medication for that. You depressed, we got one for that. You too happy, we got one for that. There's a medication for everything, but does it fix you?
Wow.
No, what it does is it has a side effect that affects another part of you in a bad way. Why is it that if I'm taking a medication for depression, I got to worry about having diarrhea and vomiting and ulcers, or I got to worry about suicide? Wasn't that the whole point? was to take me out of that suicidal thought mode? Well, you going to give me pills to further my suicidal thoughts? Or you going to give me something where now I can't move around society the way I need to? I'm sleepy. I'm a zombie. We got to see it, man. All them drugs and weed and pills and all these other philosophies that they give us. Well, yeah, read the Book of Mormon or meditate on nothingness. Meditation, it'll clear your anxiety. Just free your mind, right? Just clear your mind. It don't work, because now what are you thinking about? You ain't thinking about nothing. You're not thinking about how to fix your problem. The problem is always there. The wisdom helps you to think through problems. Apply the wisdom and you'll get rid of the ailment. That's what it's about. Believe in Christ. Have faith in him. The scriptures say it for a reason. Curses the man that trusteth in man and make man his arm. Or curses the man that trusteth in flesh and make man his arm. Why? Because you're trusting in these fleshly things and not letting your confidence be on the Most High to guide you through whatever it is. So read it again.
For it was neither herb nor butterflying flesh.
Right, so your depression medication, anxiety medication, the weed, the ganja, the crack, the heroin, right, the adrenaline rush. It ain't those things. Go ahead.
That restores them to health.
That's going to restore your health. That's going to restore your sensibility and that true state of mind. That's going to take you out of the anguish of hoping for good. That's not what's going to restore our people. Finish it up and I'm going to let you answer your question. Go ahead.
But thy word.
But thy what?
But thy word.
So you got to let the word take hold. You got to let the word take hold. Go ahead.
Oh, Yahweh.
Read.
Which healeth all things.
Some things.
All things.
Only when I want it to heal.
All things.
Well, I'm exempt from being healed from the word this way.
All things.
It says the word heal all things, not just some. Read.
For thou hast power of life.
Wait, read.
For thou hast power of life.
Who has the power of life?
Yahweh.
Not us. The Most High got the power of life. Come on.
And death.
Right. Now, what were you going to ask, Jocelyn?
Where was he?
He's at Wisdom of Solomon 16 and verse 12. Now verse 13. It says, read it again.
For thou hast power of life. And death.
Now, where is the power of life and death? Where is the power of healing the heaviness of that broken heart?
In the tongue?
Well, yeah, but the Most High's power of life and death is in the wisdom. We know that life and death is in the power of the tongue with each individual, but the power for us to live in unity, love, peace, charity is here. The power for us to kill each other, right? That's in the lack of wisdom. The power for us to grudge and bear hatred and malice and envy and wickedness, that's in not using the wisdom. I mean, it's in here too, because it tells you, don't use the wisdom and you'll die, right? It tells you you reap what you sow. So the wisdom on both ends of the spectrum are right here in the book. All you got to do is just use it. Rely more on this than on the emotions, than on the drugs, the alcohol. What do they call these things? They call them outlets. What is your outlet? Well, your outlet should be wisdom. If I'm frustrated about something, I'm not going to go punch a wall. That's retarded. I might break my damn hand. But what I am going to do is calm down and hop in the book and take my mind off of whatever is frustrating me. You'll be surprised what a good study session can do. When you just feel in a certain way and you know you got demons on you, and you open that book and you say, you know what? Let me just read a few chapters. A few chapters turns into 8 books open in front of you, and if your mind is really open to it. You go from having let me read a chapter on this, to next thing you know, you got Bible, Apocrypha, you got the Zondervan open, you got this book open, because now you're making precepts, you hopped into this story, you didn't understand this word, now you're looking up definitions. oh, wait a minute. Whoa, let me research this topic. You look up, 8 hours done passed. But are you thinking about what was pissing you off earlier? No. You thinking about the lust that was trying to take hold of you earlier? No. Or the hate or the malice or the envy. You're not thinking about those things, or you shouldn't be. Because now you're giving yourself to knowledge. And in turn, that's going to open you up to be able to use the wisdom. Right? Where you at?
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16 and verse 13.
Read it again.
For thou hast power of life and death.
Right?
Thou leadest to the gates of hell and brings it up again.
See, the Most High does that. But remember, we do it to ourselves by what we use or don't use. Again, we'll walk right to the gates of hell with that malice and hate holding us back. You'll walk right to the gates of hell willingly, man. Or you can walk to heaven willingly also, but it's your will. Choose you this day life or death. Am I going to choose malice, envy, hate, grudging, holding on, pain? Or am I going to choose good days and long life? Am I going to choose heaviness that bringeth sickness, that bring forth death? Or am I going to choose to let things go, to free my mind, really? What they say in the Matrix, you got to free your mind, Neo. You got to free your mind. And Morpheus went, boom, leaped from one building to the next. Neo was like, oh, I need to do that. Neo didn't free his mind. That's why he fell flat on his face. It's about freeing your mind. Go to St. John 6 and verse 63. St. John chapter 6 and verse 63.
Come. It is the spirit that quickens.
It is the what?
It is the spirit that quickens.
See, the spirit of the Most High is what quickens us, man. This is what changes us. This is what makes us better. It's the spirit that quickeneth. Come on.
The flesh profiteth nothing.
It says the flesh profiteth nothing. Remember, it says that malice, there is no profit therein. But the wisdom is what reforms us. The wisdom is what fixes us. It's what heals us. Hey, hit them fans in the back, please. It's getting hot. Go ahead.
The words that I speak.
The what?
The words that I speak.
The words that I speak. Come on.
Unto you.
Read.
They are spirit.
They are what?
They are spirit.
They are what?
They are spirit.
It says the words of the spirit. They are spirit. Come on.
And they are life.
This is where long life and good days are. In the spirit. In using the knowledge. The wisdom. Go to Proverbs 15 and 13. Check this out. Check this out. So, we understand that we got to use the word to heal us. Now, I said it earlier about the sorrow. You weren't supposed to use the sorrow to put up guards, to shield yourself, to build hatred and malice. You really were supposed to use that sorrow and pain to strengthen your mind. How do you ask? Well, does anybody even believe that sorrow and pain strengthens your mind? You don't believe it does? Sorrow and pain, does it strengthen one's mind? Yeah, it does. You said what? Well, if you hold on to it, you're right. No. It strengthens your mind, but it can go in two ways. Either it strengthens you in revenge, hatred, malice, envy, right? And you don't use wisdom, or it strengthens your mind in a way where, I don't want to give it away. I'm going to show y'all. Proverbs 15 and verse 13, read it.
A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance.
Right?
But by sorrow of the heart,
right?
The spirit is broken.
It says the what?
But by sorrow of the heart, the spirit is broken.
It says by sorrow of the mind, the spirit is broken. Now, let's go all the way back to the top. The Most High brought us through our calamities. We're at Proverbs 15 and verse 13. So let's jump back to the top real quick. The Most High brought us through the robbery, the slavery, the pillaging. He brought us all through that. He brought us through all those sorrows To do what? Read it again.
A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance.
Because there was a time he said, I brought you up in gladness. Y'all remember that? Right? I'm gonna read it real quick. It's Second Ezra, right? Read it.
2 and 1.
Read it. You got it. You there with me? Read that. Second Ezra. Where is it at?
Second Ezra, chapter 2, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Oh, slide. Word.
The Second Ezra chapter. Stay where you at, Shaddai. Damn, how come I can't find it all of a sudden? He said, I brought you, Second Ezra chapter 2
verse 3.
And verse 3. Read that.
I brought you up with gladness.
Come on.
But with sorrow and heaviness have I lost you.
Right. Now, read where you at, Shaddai.
A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance.
Right, so we were in that merriness, right? We were in that cheerfulness. And through all that, we forsook everything the Most High gave us. We know that. Go ahead.
But by sorrow of the heart, the spirit is broken.
So what was the Most High trying to do when he put us through this sorrow? Was he trying to break our spirits?
Love.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. He was trying to break your spirit into what? You just said it. Where was he trying to break our spirits into? Go to he was trying to break our spirits. Go to Psalm 34:18. He was trying to break our spirit. But not in a way where he breaks your spirit and all of a sudden like you lose weight, you can't eat, I can't sleep, baby. I can't breathe, baby. Not in that way where the world breaks your spirit. Now you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't go to work because she left you. You can't function. He wasn't trying to give you that type of heartbreak, but he was trying to break your mind. Read it.
Psalm chapter 34, verse 18.
Right?
The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart.
Of a what?
Of a broken heart.
Yeah, he wanted to break that mind and break those strongholds out of your mind. So he put us through all these things. That's why it says, by sorrow of the heart, the spirit is broken. He's trying to break these things out of us, the rebelliousness, the hatred, the envy, the malice. He said he's nigh unto them of a broken heart. Meaning now your thoughts are what?
Close in.
Your thoughts. That pride has been broken. That stiff-neckedness has been broken. Now it's not about my thoughts. It's about what the Most High wants. Go ahead.
And saveth such as be of a contrite spirit.
Right. That lowered spirit. Now it's not about my ego. Go to Isaiah 66 and verse 1. This is the broken heart that the Most High was trying to put in us. A spirit of humility. Break that pride. Break that hate. Isaiah 66 and verse 1. What's up, Ashadat?
I was going to say, that being broken is, you can't rely on you. You can't rely on your own strength or your own ways of doing things.
Right.
Because your best decisions got you where you're at right now.
Your best decisions got you heartbroken. That's what we got to realize. That's why he said, why are you crying? Why criest thou for thine afflictions? Your best decision got you here. So now I got to break the things out of you through what? All the things I brought you through. To do what? Bring you right back to me. Read.
Isaiah chapter 66, verse 1.
Come on.
Thus saith the Most High, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool.
Come on.
Where is it? Salah. Where is the house that ye build unto me?
Come on.
Where is the place of my rest?
Yeah, where is this house you going to build unto me? Where's the place of my rest? Read on, verse 2.
Verse 2. For all those things hath mine hand made.
Come on.
And all those things have been, said the Most High.
Read.
But to the man will I look.
Read it one more time.
For all those things hath mine hand made. And all those things have been, said the Most High. But to this man will I look.
He said, I'm looking at this type of man. Read.
Even to him that is poor and of a contrite spirit.
And of a what?
Contrite spirit.
Read.
And trembling at my word.
This is what the Most High wanted. This is the broken heart that he wanted you to have. He wanted you to tremble at his word. He wanted you to have that respect. What's that? Where we? What's up? Let's look up the word contrite. Let's look it up. Very good question. Let's look up the word contrite. He said, this is the man that I will look at. One that is of a poor. He said he got to be poor. Meaning what? My opinion ain't worth nothing. Wasn't that you had to be poor like broke? Poor and desolate, homeless. He was basically saying my opinion ain't worth squat. But I know it. Of a contrite heart that trembleth. Because if you tremble at the words of the Most High, that means your opinion and your thoughts don't matter. What you got for contrite?
Feeling or expressing remorse or patience.
Wait, feeling of what?
Remorse or patience.
Right. He wanted you to have that remorse. We're going to get into that. He wanted you to be sorrowful for repentance. What else?
Affected by guilt.
Affected by what?
Guilt.
Right. He wanted you to be affected by the guilt of allowing yourself to be put in slavery. Allowing your nationality to be taken from you. Right. Allowing all the good that he promised to not come to fruition. Allowing yourself to let your best decisions lead you to where you are now. Allowing your wisdom. He wanted that remorse for you to sit back and say, damn, man, I messed up. My best decisions got me here, and look where I'm at. Our best decisions as a nation got us where we are. We in damn slavery and oppression. Getting shot, getting killed. Like dogs in the street, man. Our best decisions got us here. He wanted you to be remorseful for that. That's where he was going to come and bring us back in. He didn't want you to be brokenhearted in any other way. Go to Luke. No. Go to Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 3. Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 3, I'm sorry. Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 3.
God. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 3.
Because again, we were supposed to use the sorrow to our benefit. The sorrow was supposed to strengthen our minds. The sorrow was supposed to make us careful. The sorrow was supposed to change our outlook. Just like when, again, go ahead back and put yourself back 10, 15 years ago when you got with old girl, you got with old boy, right? And y'all was just doing y'all's thing, and then she cheated on you. And then when she came back, you were like, why did you cheat on me? And she told you all the reasons why. And you were like, you know what? I ain't gonna do those things again. I'm gonna treat her right. Well, the next chick I get with, now I know. So you became careful in the way you did things, right? It's gonna tell you right here, Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 3.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 3.
Sorrow
is better than laughter.
Why? Read.
For by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better.
How is the heart made better? Because now you're careful. Now you're watching. Now you're looking. Now you're not making the same mistakes. Y'all get that?
Yeah.
Now you're not doing things the same way. Now, how does that matter and why? Because if the Most High put us through our calamities and put us through the sorrow that we're going through to break us, to get us to that contrite mind and that true repentance, why is sorrow important? How does it build your mind? Well, go to 2 Corinthians 7 and verse 9. Because there's two different types of sorrow. There's two different types of heartbreak. There's two different types of anguish. 2 Corinthians 7 and verse 9.
2 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 9.
Now I rejoice, not that ye were made sorry.
See, the Most High wasn't trying to make you sorry and like to the point where you just broken down and can't recover. Because remember, it says sorrow of the mind, sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. So the sorrow wasn't to break you down. Now you can't eat. Now you're losing weight. Now you ain't gonna make it through life. The sorrow wasn't to beat you down to a pulp. Go ahead.
Come. But that ye sorrow to repentance.
But that you what?
Sorrow to repentance.
See, it was supposed to bring you to this contrite state of mind. You sorrow to repentance. Go ahead.
Come. For ye were made sorry after a godly manner.
Wait, after a what manner?
Godly manner.
See, the sorrow should have came after a godly manner. You were supposed to sit back and remember, like, damn, the Most High got us going through this, but I did this. We did this. A godly manner, not like, oh man, the Most High got me going through this. Screw the Bible. Ain't that what they do? Man, that's the white man's book. That book got us in slavery. Nigga, nah. You got you in slavery. The Most High had nothing to do with that. He said, I will do nothing but reveal my secrets to the servants, to my saints. The Most High didn't do this, so don't blame him. You did it. He said it again. Why are you crying for the things that you did to yourself? You did this. Go ahead.
Come. That ye might receive damage by us in nothing.
Come on, read verse 10.
For godly sorrow worketh repentance.
See, because godly sorrow was supposed to open up your mind for you to change, to repent. When you repent from something, you turn back. Godly sorrow was supposed to say, oh, you know what? We messing up. Let's not do that no more. Oh, I messed up. Let me not approach relationships the way I did. Let me prove a friend. If you want to deal with the hurt of relationships, let me prove a friend. A brother is born through adversity. So we're supposed to go through. A brother is born for adversity. Excuse me. There must be offenses. Offenses must come. Right? All these things I'm supposed to go back and examine and look at and say, wow, well, you know what? Bless those that despitefully use me. Well, if it's saying that, that means that I'm going to be despitefully used. So I'm repenting in a way where now I'm using wisdom. I'm following the word. That's the godly sorrow. Go ahead.
Time. Verse 10. For godly sorrow worketh repentance to salvation, not to be repented of.
Right. See, now I don't have to keep going back. I'm not making the same mistakes over and over to where now I got to keep repenting. I got to keep going back and laying that foundation. I got to keep going back and, oh man, the wisdom. No, you use the wisdom. You keep moving forward in this way where I don't got to keep going back to the old me. Y'all get that, right? Go ahead, read on.
But the sorrow of the world worketh death.
You see that? But the sorrow of the world. So you see how I was showing you there's two different sorrows? See, the sorrow of the world is rely on your emotions. Rely on your feelings. Just eat, just drink it away. Right? Hold on to that grudge. Hold on to that hate. Hold on to that malice. But the sorrow of the Most High said it worked repentance. Meaning, I'm going to let go of that. I'm going to let go of the hate. I'm going to follow the wisdom. So I don't have to keep repenting. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Salakia. You good back there? Right? Go ahead, read on.
Come. Verse 11. For behold, this self-same thing that ye sorrowed after a godly sort.
So you sorrowed after this godly sort, but how? Read.
What carefulness?
What?
Carefulness.
What?
Carefulness.
See, remember, it says, by sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. So now you're careful to not make the same mistake. Go ahead.
It wrought into you.
Read.
Yea, what clearing of yourself?
What?
Clearing of yourself.
See, now you examined and you cleared out the hurt. You You cleared out the pain. You cleared these things. You didn't hold on to it because you know. I hold on to this, all it's going to do is build more malice, build more hate, build more grudging. You cleared yourself of this matter, man. You're like, man, I'm not going to let myself go through the pain. I'm not going to drag this behind me. What clearing? Go ahead.
Yea, what indignation.
Man, you hate the fact that you held a grudge. You hate the fact that you let this pain from past relationships infiltrate and have you judging or misjudging a person the wrong way. You hate that, man. This is what this sorrow of the Most High was supposed to build in us, build in you. You were supposed to hate the fact that someone else is living in your land. Someone else is toting around your traditions and language and using it wrong. Like, yeah, we're going to take your language and use it wrong. We're going to take your way of living and do it wrong. See how this sorrow is supposed to work on two scales? The nation, but each individual. Go ahead.
Yea, what fear?
What?
What fear?
Yeah, you were supposed to have this fear of breaking the commandments. The fear of not loving your neighbor as yourself. The fear of being put back in that same place. So now I got to keep going through the sorrow. I got to keep going through the anguish. I got to keep going through the pain. Go ahead.
Yea, what vehement desire.
Right?
Yea, what zeal.
See, but not a zeal, not according to knowledge. You had that zeal according to knowledge now. That vehement desire to do things the right way. Not, oh yeah, my bad, because in the world, it's like, yeah, my bad. And then they do what? They wrong you the same way, or even worse. Yeah, well, he said he was sorry, but he punched you in the face twice as hard. He didn't just black one eye; he blacked both eyes. But he said he loved me. He said he loved me, right? Well, because what? He gave you the purse, but then he blacked both eyes and then punched you in the lip the second time. You see, sorrow of the world worketh death. Because it's a gimmick, it's a scheme. It's just words. There's no real action behind it. There is no carefulness. There is no, let me be careful to not do the same thing. Let me be careful and because remember, he said it, your best decision got you here. But that was your decision. Using the wisdom will get you somewhere else. Right? Go ahead, read on.
Come. Yea, what revenge?
What?
Revenge.
See, what revenge? Well, what is it? Avenging all disobedience once your obedience has been fulfilled. It ain't the revenge of, well, they did me wrong, so I got to go get them. It ain't that revenge. Oh, no. It's the revenge of, let me keep myself clear of the matter. Let me continue to use wisdom so now I can help steer others the right way. Y'all get it? Read on.
In all things, ye have approved yourselves to be clear in this matter.
Yeah, it's about being clear. It's about being clear with the Most High. It's about being clear with whoever wronged you or whoever you wronged. It's about being clear that I'm going to use wisdom every step of the way so that I don't keep repeating the same cycle. Right? So once you get through all that, now what? Once you forgive, let it go, use wisdom, and really clear yourself of the matter, what's left to do? Move forward. Move forward. Philippians 3 and verse 13. Philippians chapter 3 and verse 13.
Philippians chapter 3, verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended,
right?
But this one thing I do,
forgetting
those things which are behind.
Wait, I do what?
Forgetting those things which are behind.
All right, so after I've forgiven, I've let the wisdom come in, I've let wisdom clear me of my matter. You're supposed to forget the things. See, it ain't forgive and not forget. I can forgive, but I won't forget. The scriptures say to forget those things that are behind. Move on from that. You know why? Because and I've been quoting it. Give me the one, evil suspicion. Evil suspicion. Give me that one. Ecclesiasticus. Evil suspicion 18. You got it? Read that one more time.
Con. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind.
Right, there was a reason why you had to forget the things that were behind. I'm not going to search this. I want to find it. It's right here in Ecclesiastes. It's terrible. Is it? No. Yeah, we'll find it. Hold on. Come on, baby. Somebody search it. Oh, we look. Evil suspicion has overthrown many. Let's try not to use the Lloyd.
3:24.
Right. That's terrible.
Yep.
So read where you at one more time in Philippians 3:13.
Con. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind.
Why? Because if I hold on to the grudge or the things from the past, what does that do to my forward thinking, my in the moment thinking? Well, it's going to taint my thinking. It's going to affect my thinking in a way where if, let's say I was in a relationship that was abusive, right? And the abuse started out with yelling. You know, it started out, this man raised his voice, yelled, then it went from he raised his voice to then he's beating on me, right? Now, you get with the next man. Let's say you get with the righteous brother, right? He's using the wisdom, but just because he raises his voice don't mean he's going to beat you. But if you're in the mind that every man that raises his voice to me is going to beat you, then you're automatically geared up for a beating. But that's not the case. He's got to raise his voice because the scriptures do say, "Cry aloud, spare not." So he might have to get a little forward with you and change his tone because you're not getting it. But that don't mean he's gonna beat on you because the last man did that. But see, now it puts it in your mind that he's gonna beat on you. Now you're going off of what? You're going off of past experience, but that's not your present experience. So it puts this opinion in your head. It puts this vain thought, this vain thinking in your head, and now you're gearing up for that, but missing out on all the wisdom that's being delivered because a person raised their tone, and then you automatically box them in like, see, you're just like the person I dealt with before, or see, he started out yelling, so he's going to be just like him. I know he's going to beat me. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. You look for these triggers or red flags, but that's not what the case is. Y'all see that?
Uh-huh.
So read where you at one more time, Philippians 3:13, and read Ecclesiastes.
Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended,
right?
But there's one thing I do, forgetting these things which are behind.
Why? Read Ecclesiastes 3:24.
For many are deceived by their own vain opinion.
Go ahead.
And an evil suspicion.
And an evil what?
Suspicion.
See that vain opinion that you carry, that you've been holding on to for years? And that evil suspicion, go ahead,
hath overthrown their judgment.
See that? Now you misjudge. Now you're misjudging and judging incorrectly the person that you're with. You're putting the judgment of the first person and judging them with the second person. Don't they do it? All men are alike. Don't they say, "Oh man, all men are alike"? They're all men are dogs. A chick gets hurt, her heart gets hurt with the fur. All men are dogs. Right? Or a dude gets hurt by some chick, man, all women ain't nothing. All chicks ain't ish. Right? You box everybody into the same group. But it says evil suspicion has overthrown their judgment. Now you misjudge. Because you're still holding on to the things of the past. Finish up Philippians.
Con, and reaching forth unto those things which are before.
Right, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. Reaching on to the things that are before. Now, what are the things that are before us? What are the things that we should be reaching towards?
Fruits of the Spirit.
Fruits of the Spirit, right? What else? What are some things that are before us, but it's hard for us to attain?
Kingdom.
It's definitely the kingdom. I'm going to throw this. This is not in here. Go to Ephesians 4 real quick.
Fine.
Ephesians 4.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 1.
Go ahead.
I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called.
Come on.
With all lowliness.
With all what?
Lowliness.
See, we're supposed to be looking forward to being lowly and humble. Go ahead.
And meekness.
Uh-huh.
With long suffering.
So these are the things that we're supposed to be pressing forward towards. Getting off the old man and putting on the new. Go ahead.
Forbearing one another.
Read.
And endeavoring to keep the unity.
Uh-huh.
The spirit of.
Read it again.
Endeavoring to keep the unity of the spirit of the bond of peace.
These are the things that we got to be pressing forward in. Endeavoring to keep the bond of the spirit of peace. Go ahead.
There is one body.
Right, that's it. So these are the things that we're supposed to be pressing forward in, the fruits of the spirit. Endeavoring to keep the unity.
What scripture is that?
That's Ephesians 4 verse 1. Right? Go to Colossians real quick. Colossians 3 and verse 1. I'm just throwing these in here.
Come.
Go to Colossians 3 and verse 1.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
If ye be risen with Christ, seek those things which are above.
Do what?
Seek those things which are
So
above.
you're not supposed to be looking back at the old hurt, the sensual. You're supposed to be looking at the things that are from above. You're supposed to be looking for the Spirit. Go ahead.
Where Christ sitteth on the right hand of the Most High.
Read on.
Set your affection on those, set your affection on things above.
You see that? He says, set your affections on the things that are above. This is where our affection should be geared towards. The things that are above. Go ahead.
Not on things on the earth.
Y'all see that? Not the hurt, the pain, the heaviness. We got to press towards and look forward for the things that are above. The things in the spirit, the unity, the brotherhood, the sisterhood. Endeavoring to keep the peace. Provoking each other to love. Restoring each other in the spirit of meekness. These are the things that we got to be looking forward to, man. And not looking forward to somebody coming through and hurting your heart. Remember, Most High said, I know the thoughts that I have towards you, thoughts of peace and not of evil. To have an expected end. So you're not supposed to be looking and saying, well, how is this person going to hurt me? You're not supposed to be looking to those things. Right? Where you said what?
I was thinking Titus 1:15, to the pure all things are pure.
That's a good one. You can add it. Well, go to hold on real quick. Right. You go to Titus 1:15. I mean, any questions? Any questions on that? on that class? They got anything online on the topic? They're saying a lot of things. Let's see Acts times. Yep. Acts 17:30. The Most High winked at our ignorance. Since heathen nations are enemies. It says, since heathen nations, I'm assuming this is a question on the topic. So that's it for the class. I'm going to answer this question real quick. Since heathen nations are our enemies to Israel, are we to apply Matthew's 5:44 in rendering prayers and forgiveness towards heathens who have done us wrong? Now, remember, we did ourselves wrong. That's first and foremost. The heathen the Most High put us in our predicament because of what we did. So, yeah, we know that they're the ones that did it, but they were playing their part. The scriptures say, if at all possible, be at peace with all men. Now, you got to think about it. Where is the wisdom in? Now, are you going to sit there and pray for Esau? Well, the Most High said you're not going to be able to have no place for repentance. So, are we going to pray to the Most High to bless Esau and do all that? The Most High said he's not going to forgive them anyway, right? Now, what we do pray for is to have peace with the nations and be able to have wisdom to move around, because we're in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation. We're circled around them, right? We're in the middle of the thick with them. So what we should be praying for is to be able to have peace with them, yeah. Be able to, move around society and not be affected by them. That's what I pray for. I'm not praying for them. I'm just praying that I can move around and not be affected by them. But the scriptures say, pray for your enemies. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. There was some Romans that was there when it was killing Christ too. Some Edomites that was there killing Christ. Right? But remember, they don't get their revenge from Christ. So it's about having peace, man. It's about having peace with all men. That's what we pray for, the peace. What you got?
Romans 12:18.
What does it say?
What you're quoting?
Yeah, read it.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 18.
Uh-huh.
If it be possible,
right,
as much as lieth in you,
uh-huh,
live peaceably with all men.
It says do what?
Live peaceably with all men.
Right, so that's the goal, is to live peaceably with all men. Because and we've talked about this a lot. It's easy for us to hate our brother, hate our sister, but then you got Esau that's literally out there. It's sad. The woman got shot 5 times out here in Texas, and there was a black man recording it, because you can hear his voice. Not once did he run over there and say, don't shoot her. Right. Don't beat her. Don't kick her to the ground. And not once. Right. He was like, damn, he popped her ass.
Yeah, that's all good.
He not once did he stand up for her.
He's probably like, I'm about to get me a viral video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't yell Raw Star.
Wow.
I'm surprised he didn't. I was waiting for it. But he probably didn't want to get shot himself, so he shut up. But the point is this. With all the atrocities that these nations go out and do, nobody's running up to Esau and killing him. You never hear a black man goes on a vengeful spree to kill Esau and they're like, why did you do it? Well, because he was killing my people. You'll never hear that. Well, you'll hear black on black crime. Well, why did he do it? Well, because he looked at my mama wrong. Or well, because he stepped on my sneaker. Or because he owed me some money from 10,000 years ago. It's always that. It's never, well, damn, this dude went and killed, he went and shot up a police station full of Esau because why? They shot my mama. Or they shot Mike Brown. Or they shot this person. You'll never hear that. So, I'm going at this angle this way because our minds be messed up where we're more willing to forgive Esau anyway. Esau been beating you down at your job, taking advantage of you, paying you a low-ass wage your whole career. And guess what? Every day you show up. Every day you forgive him. You do. You do it by not standing up for yourself. So, the whole point is, man, to live peaceably with everyone. Forget about Esau and trying to give him forgiveness. We show him more forgiveness And we show these other nations more forgiveness than we show our own people anyway. Because you'll be quick to hold a grudge with your people. You'll be quick to downgrade your people. It's sad. It's even like this. We'll be quick to go into a black business, and the first thing what we want to do, man, that's too expensive. Give me a discount.
Talk down the price.
Talk down the price. But you go right into Macy's. You'll go right into Woolworths, right? You'll go right into Walmart, billion-dollar company, and spend their prices. You ain't negotiating. You walk right into Macy's. $100 for a polo, and you'll pay that. You ain't negotiating. You ain't negotiating Michael Kors and Dooney and Burke and Jordan and all these people. You're not negotiating. Well, you'll negotiate your brother with his small business. Man, that's too expensive, man. I'm gonna go down here, and then you'll throw it in his face like, man, y'all too expensive. I can go over here to Harwin. I can go over here to the Chinese and get it for cheaper. That's what they say, right? We're so ready to push our brother to the side because we can go get it from this man or that man. We're so ready to hate our brother because I don't want to hate the white man. I don't want to hate him because he pays me. I don't want to hate him because he houses me. I don't want to hate him because he feeds me. We've been forgiving them, man. We've been on that common BS of just love the white man and he'll love us. We've been on that. How do I know? Because you ain't standing up and fighting him. You ain't telling him the wrong he's done to you, man. So forget all that BS about forgiving them. We've been forgiving them. We just do it in a roundabout way where you don't sit back and pray for him. Well, you'll go build his corporation. You'll go build his business. You'll go build for him, and you'll tear down your brother because you won't deal with him the right way. So we've been past that. We got to start building each other. But the main point is this: live peaceably with everyone. If it all lieth in you, read it one more time.
If it be possible, as much as lieth with you, live peaceably with all men.
Right, so all that's saying is, listen, use the wisdom. The wisdom applies where? To everyone. Why? Because in Deuteronomy it said this is the wisdom in the sight of the nations. Right? Didn't it say that this is the wisdom? This is your wisdom in the sight of the nations. So I don't got to sit back and pray for the nations. I'm not sitting down, I'm praying for my people. I'm praying for Israel. That's what we pray for. We know that they're our enemies, but I'm not praying. What we praying for? That they get more kingdom? If you do pray, you pray that, listen, man, they wake the hell up and see the wrong that they're doing to us. But all it really is you can show them the wrong by using wisdom. Wisdom is going to prevail. So yeah, if you do pray for them, you pray that the Most High comes down and checks their ass.
Psalm 108, King David, he basically was saying, look, I'm going to bless them, bless their mom for everything that they're doing to us, bless everything that, the land that they own and the maliciousness they show towards us, bless them with two folds of that. Yep. Like he was blessing them with what they do to us. I'll
pray for the Most High to come down and show them they're wrong. Because a lot of times, we do it all the time, man. You have to go deal with these nations. You pray for the Most High to deliver you, right? Deliver me from whatever it is. Court, the cop pulled me over, deliver me. You're praying for the Most High to put something in their mind to help you. So there's many different ways you can take that scripture where it says, pray for them that despitefully use you, pray for your enemies, bless them, not cursing. Hey, you just pray that the Most High opens up their mind to deal with our nation better. Because they're the ones that he's using to do what? Punish us, right? Yeah, so first and foremost, we got to pray for that, to use that wisdom to have peace with everyone. And that the Most High will open up these nations, man, to be what? To be used for us to use them. Using the world, it says, make friends of the unrighteous man. We want to be able to use them for our benefit. Let's see what else we got. Does Luke authorize Israelites to use deadly force? Go to Luke 22 and 36. Well, I just read it. Be at peace with all men, but go to Luke 22:36. Does Luke 22:36 authorize Israelites to use deadly force if necessary for self-defense? Are there other scriptures that allow for self-defense which may lead to death? Well, again, everyone has the right to defend themselves. But before it gets to you having to defend your life, we got to use wisdom. It says, agree with thy adversary quickly whilst thy are in the way. Right? Go to Luke 22:36. Read that, Luke 22 and verse 36.
Luke chapter 22, verse 36. Then said he unto them,
right?
But now, he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip.
Right.
And he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment, and buy one.
Right. So that's not giving you the authorization to use deadly force in that way where, yeah, it's telling you to get you a sword, right? Now, we know in this society, especially here in Texas, it's legal to have knives. It's legal to, you can carry concealed weapons and things like that, right? Now, self-defense, yeah, I mean, if I got a weapon in my house and someone breaks in, I'm not asking questions. I'm sorry. I don't need the Bible to tell me that. Yeah, I'm not telling the Bible. I don't need the scriptures to tell me that. And if somebody breaks into my house, it's not for a good reason. I got kids. I got family. I got my wife. Somebody breaks into my house, I'm using deadly force, not asking questions, because you break it in, right? Now, Israel's a trip, man, because again, we'll use deadly force in the wrong instances. Like, well, I'm gonna carry my gun and then whip it out on Judah and deadly force him, but then Esau is there. You don't whip it out on him. You're not gonna pull the gun out on the cop. So remember, the scriptures say, agree with thy adversary quickly. The scriptures also say, blessed are the peacemakers. So before you take anything to deadly force in the way where I've got to pull out a gun, like I said, if somebody breaks into your house or something like that, it's middle of the night, I'm not really going to ask too many questions. I'm not going to do who in my house, I'm the devil, the devil's not welcome here. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. I'm probably not going to ask no questions because you broke into the house. So my mind is going to first go into you're here to harm, you're here to hurt, rob, steal, whatever. So I'm going into defense mode. But remember, if there's a face-to-face situation and you have a weapon on you, before you got to pull your weapon on somebody, wisdom has to be used. Agree with thy adversary quickly. Your adversary can be anyone, nation or not. Agree with him quickly. Right? Use the wisdom. So it tells you, have a weapon. There's nothing wrong with that. Brothers got weapons. Brothers got weapons, man. There's nothing wrong with that. We just ain't running around the streets with weapons on us like, yeah, I got a gun. You ain't doing that. Because guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna bring that energy to you. You bring that energy to you. Now, if you got a short temper, or if you don't know how to control your emotions and somebody cuts you off and you got a gun on you, is that a license to use it? Well, for some men, yeah, they're gonna get into that confrontation, and they feel like, well, because I got a gun on me, I'm big, I'm Mr. Big Stuff. Right? That's how they do it in the world. I got a gun on me, so if you talk, I'm blowing you away. But most cats that ain't gunned up, that ain't holding up, they shut up real quick because they ain't got that extra strength. So it's not a license to defend yourself, like self-defense. Self-defense is something that you do regardless. Somebody ran up in here right now. What we gonna do? Just let them kill us? Somebody ran up in here with a gun right now. Somebody better jump on him and beat him down until he can't move or can't shoot or whatever. We got women and children up in here. So the wisdom gives us, remember, thou shalt not kill, it says thou shalt not murder. Right? So we know we can't murder somebody premeditatedly. We can't just go out there and just start busting a gun. But we can kill. We can defend ourselves. We can definitely defend ourselves, man. So, yeah, we do have the authority to defend ourselves. And if it goes where you strike a blow on somebody and smite them and they die, you just make sure it was in self-defense. Because you can hit a person one time in the face, in the temple, and kill them. That's self-defense. What else they got on there? Let's see. Any questions here? All right, well, thank everybody for joining us. Another good class, I think. I hope hopefully y'all learned a little something, man. I had fun putting that one together. I was excited for that one. So again, we'll be back Friday. We thank everybody for joining us. We thank everyone for the positivity. Again, everybody that agreed to help out with the school in Virginia, please get that money in. If you want to send anything down to Virginia to help out with the school, any books, when we get that address, when we get everything situated, we'll get the address of the school so y'all can start mailing out books and pens and papers and things like that to the school, okay? If there's no other questions, we'll end it right there. Let's give them a salute. Let's say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. We'll see y'all back here on Friday. Shalom. Where'd you disappear to?
Man, I still kind of feel it right now. We got the loop. I started getting lightheaded.
I forgot you were here.
Yeah, I was just in the kitchen.
I forgot all about you.
I still feel kind of
Spirit was entering you, brother.
Hey.
Spirit of Mashiach.
Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ. In Hebrew, it's Yahweh. So do or die. The immaculate conception is deception. Along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod. And not the son of God. To you was kind of odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the most.